What's up, fuckers? It's me, I'm back again.
Greetings, my fellow crackheads. It's me again. Zeph.
I know, it's been a while. And by a while, I mean, I literally just streamed like a day ago, and, I thought people would be satisfied by it, but, turns out, some people are not, and I'm just here to be like, what the fuck then? Damn, alright then, shit. I didn't know you guys miss me that much, at least when it comes to streaming. All I do is art.
What?
And then the other Zephlings are like,
Well, yeah, that's why. Well, yeah, that's the reason why we always tune into your streams, because you love to draw, Zeph, and we just we crave for more food,
and I'm like, I gave you guys way too many art already. What do you mean you guys want more food?
No. You see, we want current food right now, and I'm like,
okay, whatever you say. That's insane, Cassie. Insane how that's what you've been doing. But you know what? Pop off, Queen. LMAO. Alright. Shit. Anyway. So you may be wondering, Zeph, the fuck are you gonna do? I don't know. Whatever comes to my mind, I guess. I need to send you updates on my Animal Crossing found because Antonio. Interesting. It's more like an extra appendage, honestly, but I guess you could say it's a form of a tale, but my goodness, it doesn't seem like a tale sometimes. What the fu- My head hurts, I guess I'm sick. Get some rest, okay? Be sure to get some rest. Hold on, let me bring out your ADHD to basically, get mad over.
Look, shonen anime sucks at romance, but Nanatsu no Taizai deserves an award for making every shit.
Hello, Sailor. Now you may be wondering, where's Ink? He's asleep, so yeah. Alright, back to...
Every major relationship in this show is a different kind of fucked up that is desperately trying to explain why knowing your future wife when she's a toddler is kosher and not grooming. Like, one of these shits would have been bad, but because anime, the fandom will just choose to ignore it. But when every main character is doing it, I think that's a sign to step back, ignore the fights that are awesome, and figure out what's going on here. Is it really as bad as it looks? The answer is yes.
Damn, Bingus. Sorry to hear that.
Or the 7 deadly sins.
Have fun. Slay. Thank you, Lebo. What is up, son? Gotta get ready for school. Screw my chungus life, man. You're fine. Just don't die, okay?
They have epic fights, train, and grow up their employees. This whole anime, to its
Can't stay long because I'm in school. My next those are fun, so I'll come back. Stream still going. Okay, see you later. Beyond.
Honestly, if you strip out all the problematic stuff, some of these shifts would actually be pretty decent with one great one. Unfortunately, you can't ignore this. So let's just talk about the 7 elephants in the room. First ship, Meliodas and Elizabeth. Meliodas is a 3,000-year-old demon who looks like
I don't have school, you're fine.
Elizabeth is the 16-year-old adopted daughter of the king, and the one who kicks off the plot by trying to reunite the sins. Their relationship is complicated, with a lot of backstory, but you need none of it to understand that this is wrong. Yeah, just getting this out of the way.
Should I hold the Mama and Teddy Bear to watch the stream too? I might. You're fine. Go ahead, Cassie.
To be fine, to have a quirk, and that quirk is him sexually harassing Elizabeth constantly. Meliodas is doing this from jump. She collapses at his door, and the first thing he does is rub her chest, because that's supposed to be funny. Now, this is a very common thing in Japan. Different cultures, different standards, massive real-world problem in the country, and Meliodas is doing it constantly, with Elizabeth never enjoying it, never consenting to it, and her falling in love with him later doesn't make it better. There is no real explanation for why Meliodas is doing this. the main character out. Here, though, it's just Meliodas molesting his employee. It's intentional. He doesn't do this to anyone else, not to his female teammates Merlin or Diane, not to any of the other women they meet along the way. All this is saved exclusively for her. The sheltered princess doesn't even realize when he's taking advantage of her. And this happens to Elizabeth because she's his secret soulmate, and that just makes him entitled to her. Yeah, let's talk about that backstory now. See, Elizabeth isn't just a princess. She's actually the reincarnation of Meliodas' true love. Elizabeth, very convenient. Thousands of years ago, there was a great war between the demons and the goddesses. It's just a pretentious way of saying angels. Elizabeth was the daughter of the angel's leader. Meliodas was the son of the demon lord. They fell in love and would try to stop the conflict. And it worked. Just long enough for the parents to agree to stop trying to kill each other.
Oh, hey, what's
so
up,
that they
Sans?
can punish their children. Elizabeth
My
was
friends have
cursed with
burned them, and I'm like, why? My mom said they look evil. With the little angry eyes. Oh, that's adorable, Cassie. But also, they're wrong. Mammon is adorable.
to spend eternity watching Elizabeth die. As when they meet, Elizabeth's memory eventually returns, but only for 3 days. And in that brief window, they can finally be reunited before being ripped apart again. As after the time limit, Elizabeth would always die a horrific death in front of her lover. This is why Meliodas is solely interested in her, despite the fact that when she's reincarnated, she's often a different person with a slightly different personality. Like everything in this show, it has to be tinged with a pointless creep factor. Meliodas met this version of Elizabeth as a baby, seconds after losing his previous version. She was killed by a demon, and Meliodas leveled the city over it. So he's a little bit raw from the whole experience, refusing to let anyone touch his baby wife, referring to her as his woman. Thankfully, though, for my sanity, he gives Liz over to the king, who raises Elizabeth as his own daughter, which is a way better workaround than having Meliodas raise his future baby mother. But here's the weird part that could have easily been cut. Meliodas is still around, like, a lot. He didn't hand her over and dip for 16 years. Meliodas formed the 7 Deadly Sins, and they were based out of the capital, with him spending his downtime acting as her bodyguard. Elizabeth grows to be incredibly attached to Meliodas, being distraught whenever he left for a mission. Some definite Twilight vibes going on around here. The only reason he dips out on her is because he got framed for the only murder.
Hi, what's up, Minky?
Then, when they meet again 10 years later, when Elizabeth is finally 16, the first thing he does is rub her chest.
Good question,
Even though she
Bingus.
had convenient amnesia,
I don't know how to answer that.
so as
Anyway.
far as he was concerned, she was going to wake up to a family friend assaulting her, and he was just cool with that.
My question is, what are you doing here, Mickey? Dang.
Buried underneath all of this bullshit. But altogether, you can't ignore it. And it was a choice to add in all of this. Him knowing her as a child adds nothing. There's a small amount of intrigue like who is this baby when we get flashbacks to this initially. But remove that, nothing. This comedy isn't funny, and it doesn't add to either of their characters. Elizabeth's concern in telling Meliodas to stop touching her is never treated seriously, nor does it ever lead to character growth for either.
Egg.
I like Elizabeth in both her unaware state and when she remembers her past.
Need to
In the
check
first,
if you guys
she's
can
learning to
hear
trust her
this.
friends and to believe in them, on top of angsting over the fact that she might be Meliodas' replacement for Liz. It's still carrying on anyway. But in spite of all the potential positives, what we're left with is an unnecessary, very convoluted situation, trying to explain why Meliodas named this child that he helped raise, and why that is totally okay. And you know what? I think this show could maybe have gotten away with this. Japan is Japan. Weebs will give anything a pass and call it art. However, Meliodas is banging someone he met when they were a child, and it isn't an anomaly. It's the norm.
I'm so happy to see you again.
This is King and Diane. King is the fairy king who pretends to look like an ugly bastard. Diane is a giantess who was simping for Meliodas, which blinded her to kings. Now these two are a decent couple, with again unnecessary creepy vibes, as King essentially raised Diane and then fell in love with her when she was a toddler, just because. Backstory. So, King, aka Harlequin, is the fairy king, protector of the forest and his people, till one day, after failing to stop his friends from being mutilated, he got hit in the head. dumped in a river and developed a case of convenient amnesia, the show's favorite plot device. A very young Diane picked his about-to-be corpse out of the stream, nursing him back to health. But thanks to the
What
plot
anime is
select
that? This
amnesia,
is called
he
The
didn't realize he
Seven
had to
Deadly
stop his friends or
Sins.
return to the forest. So instead, he decided
It was
to
a
spend
very
the next
popular
500
anime
years
at the
hanging out
time.
with a child that would become his bride, playing games with her, cooking her meals, helping her when she was sick.
You did, Cassie? Jesus. I feel bad for you.
And if you're wondering, yes, naked children are very common in the story. It's a choice. Just like it's a choice to make King functionally an adult/teen while falling in love with Diane. He's got those Peter Pan genes. However, King doesn't change emotionally or maturity-wise. Normally, he is one of the more mature members of the Seven Deadly Sins, and he is at that same level here. This show had an out to make this a childhood romance, to make King a child mentally so that he is on the same level as Diane. That way, when they meet again, Diane isn't the only one who's radically changed, and King is just obsessed with his childhood crush instead of crushing on the fucking child that he spent 500 years playing house with, who, when told by Diane that she loves him and asks if he loves her too, is beet red, sweating bullets, and waiting for Chris Hansen to walk in. Because he knows the significance of telling someone you love them. He knows the romantic implications of what he's promising when he says he'll always be by her side. King knows what he's saying. While Diane is the widow girl he has to love and protect till she's legal. The only reason that King ever leaves her is because he has to go kill his mass-murdering best friend without even trying to talk it over. King has the emotional maturity to kill his friend and then surrender to the authorities to be punished for negligence, but not before going back to erase Diane's memories of his existence. She's just a child, and he's grown up enough to make the choice for her. People can debate the physical versus emotional maturity thing, but it's all very much a moot point. Diane has a trajectory of not growing for 500 years and having a random growth spurt as soon as he's gone. As this art style has no teen body type, you are literally a chibi toddler or you're an adult. There is no in-between. King is the closest we get. King gets a power-up later down the road where he becomes Elvis, but nothing about King ever changes eternally. He is not some ethereal, ageless being. He knows everything that he's saying, and the story could have made any other decision with him. It's not grooming, but the show, in both instances here, really loves playing chicken with the idea that it is. King's feelings for Diane were romantic and started here. Diane's feelings, we will later find out, also started here when she was a little girl. And due to the memory loss, she projected those feelings onto Meliodas. They could have just made this a childhood romance and King act a little younger, but no. But at the very least, neither of them look like children anymore, which is more than I can say for Elaine.
What's up, little girl? Are you lost or something?
So this is the best love story in Seven Deadly Sins. No contest. Bond is best boy. Elaine is a fucking child, though. A few decades before the story started, a 20-ish Bond tried to steal the Fountain of Youth. His life sucked, lots of dead family, and he hoped immortality would give him enough time to have
Really
something.
controversial.
Unfortunately
Fucking
for
just
him,
watch
the
the video
Fountain
right
of
there.
King's
Watch the
sister
video right there and you'll see
Elaine.
why,
Yes.
Skittles.
Elaine
That's your
is a
ADHD.
fairy and over 1,000 years
I'm just
old.
gonna be here
But
drawing.
She also canonically has the body of an 11-year-old. This is not stylization, exaggeration, or some other excuse. She looks like a child in story, and they bang. The coolest character in the show, and they made him a pedophile with extra steps. I hate this. I hate that
That's
Bond
the
and
times
Elaine
where
have
chat was
easily the
chaotic.
best love
Well,
story.
unfortunately, they
Yet
kind of
they
mellowed
constantly
out.
ignore the tiny elephant in the room. Bond's entire character motivation was to find a way to bring back the love of his life. As after the two fell in love, she died, sacrificing herself to save him, setting him on a quest to find a way to bring her back from the dead. This man literally strolled into the afterlife just to tell his girl he's gonna steal her back. Everything Bond does is gold. We have to pretend that she doesn't look like his daughter sitting in his lap. Like, the copium is unbelievable. People are arguing that it isn't that bad, that Bond is just 6'11" and she's short. When first off, all those listed heights are bullshit. Always have and always will. Those info books are lying when they say that Goku is the same height and weight as Bruce Lee. Just like it's lying when they say Elaine is 4'11", when she barely comes up to Bond's pants. Bond would have to be 9 or 10 feet tall for this math to work out. So that listed 4'11"
The way he was so
is
calm when
just a
saying
lie.
they
Make this sound
bang. Nah, he
better.
was definitely dying on the
Anyone
inside when he
with
said
eyes
that,
can tell
actually.
This doesn't look right. Elaine isn't petite. She's not the average height for women in Japan. She just looks 11, if not younger. When Bond first meets her, he mistakes her for a child. And she didn't have to be drawn this way. She could have been drawn to look closer to a teen like King, or just have been an adult. But no, we really gotta make this look as accurate as possible to a grown man dating a child.
Bond is
That's
so
just
cool and
this
they
show's
ruined
canon.
him. Yeah.
Meliodas isn't a manlet, he's child-sized. And everything about Bond's appearance only makes this worse. And oh my god, they had an out here. Because guess what? Fairies are shapeshifters. They can make themselves look older. King did it all the time, didn't even let his friends know his real appearance for years. Elaine has all the same powers, but never uses them. This was a literal get-out-of-jail-free card. Just sitting there, and they just decided, nah. They want Elaine to stay a grade schooler. Then it happens again. When she gets wings, which in fairy terms means that they're aging up. When King got his, he went from Peter Pan to Peter Man. Yet when Elaine got him, barely a difference. She's still tiny, still childlike, and anyone who calls this a major change needs to get their eyes checked. And in no world does she's 1,000 years old but looks 11 hold up. And then because outside of the fact that this is fiction, it is a creative choice to make Elaine look as young as she is. Just like everything in the story. If they want to make fairies look just eternally youthful, they could have done that. If they want to make elves just have this ethereal beauty, they could have done that. If they want fairies to look alien, they could have done that. But instead, the design that they went with was to make all the regular fairies chibi sprites, except for the main ones who just have to look like children, who all start dating other ageless beings, but those beings get to look like adults. But Elaine doesn't. And we're just gonna ignore the whole legal-looking option with Jericho, but no. We have to pick the one that needs an asterisk next to it at all times. As far as couples go, this isn't even rock bottom. This is Galvin. He's an androgynous living doll with the power to manipulate people's memories. He's also a bit of a psychopath, interacting with the world the same way a machine would. This Tin Man is obsessed with gaining a heart and understanding human emotions. He wasn't always like this, though. Around 45 years before the story starts, Gauther, lost in the catacombs beneath the castle, was discovered by Elizabeth's dad when he was a kid. Back then, Gauther actually had emotions, and grew close to the king's sister, who was dying of a heart defect. They banged. She died in her sleep, and Gauther, not realizing his heart was symbolic, ripped open her chest, trying to put his own into hers. Didn't work, and then the guards walked in. The man was caught naked, standing over the princess's bloody corpse. They had more than enough evidence to charge him with what he allegedly did, branding him with sin of lust.
Yes, Cassie,
Gauther
yes.
was so distraught after losing his love, he erased his own mind to escape the pain, leaving him the emotions-obsessed robot that he is at the start. And then Gauther commits the crime he was falsely accused of. Now, Gauther's power is that he can manipulate and alter people's memories. He can erase and create new ones. He can do just about anything to fuck with people's heads. Sometimes he uses this power for the greater good, manipulates enemies so that they don't have to physically hurt them, with the effect only being temporary. Other times, he abuses his power, like what he did to Gila. Introduced as an antagonist, a member of the new generation of Holy Knights who had their powers augmented by consuming demon blood, she, on multiple occasions, tried to kill the Sins, believing them to be evil and her own side righteous, as she would do anything to protect her little brother Zeal, who was her only remaining family member. This demon power would be abused by her boss Hendrickson, who triggered the blood to go out of control, turning all of his subordinates into demonic flesh monstrosities, requiring Bond to rip the demon hearts out of their bodies, stripping them of their magic power in the process. Except for Gila, as she was saved instead by Gauther using his powers. Then to everyone's shock, Gauther and Gila started dating when the dust settled. The thing is, though, this wasn't a you saved my life romance. This was Gauther using his powers to force her to love him, as when he initially used his powers on her, he erased most of her traumatic memories related to her father, as that trauma was the source of her emotional instability that the demonic powers would use to drive her crazy. However, on top of erasing those memories, he inserted new ones as well, making her believe that Galther was her childhood friend and fiancé. Then just to completely isolate her so that she could only rely on him, Galther removed her memories of
Hello,
her
Larissa.
brother, who was her whole world at this point. Galther did all this so that he could use her as a test subject to study love and its effects on people. He desperately wanted to understand human emotions, so he stripped Gila of her autonomy, forced her to date him, with the show all but confirming that the two had sex. This is implied by a panel in the manga where, while Galther has his shirt on at least, they're in bed with the curtains closed and seem to be in the process of making out. This was removed from the anime, but they didn't remove all references to this happening. After Galther has been defeated and forced to give Gila back her memories and apologize, he specifically apologizes for, and the translation does differ. Some groups say he apologized for staining her, defiling her is used in another, with the official books going for the slightly less obvious disgracing her, with the actual scene itself implying that he isn't referring to disgracing her free will, as we have panels of Elizabeth and Diane blushing at the implication of said phrasing, with Gila also heavily blushing at the memory, which leans into the fact that Galther did something that was sexual in nature, and in a very telling move, much like Elaine's corpse just being naked.
Which one,
The anime
Cassie?
omits and censors some of this. The show cuts the implied sex scene, it cuts all the blushing, as if realizing that all of this already looks bad, and having them blush would only draw extra attention to the fact that Galther is a fucking rapist. This is not confirmed. But Galther forced Gila to become his girlfriend and to try and experience love, to learn more about it. So it is not beyond the realm of reason that the physical part of dating would also be explored. For science. And Gila thanks him for it. Oh yeah, she thanked Galther for manipulating her memories, for assaulting her, saying he saved her, blaming herself for being too weak to resist the demon's blood, because her boss manipulating her into drinking it, preying on her desperate need for power to protect her brother, all of that just her fault. That after the bad things she did when she was a villain, and how despite all of that, Galther still saved her anyway, so she thanks him for it. Thanks him for screwing with her head, as that unearthed memories of her father. Now she can remember his face more clearly. So at the end of the day, he just did her a solid.
Galther. Yeah, there you go. Galther.
This
That's
is
okay,
canon.
Larissa.
Galther
Galther
used his
Galther
powers,
fucking sucks.
forced Gila
Hold
to
on.
date him, erased her
The
memories
hell
of
is
her
this?
brother, erased her brother's
What the
memories,
fu-
leaving him homeless, most
Hold on.
likely sexually assaulted her, and the story has her thank him for it. Because even in a situation everyone in the show agrees is wrong, the story still feels the need to semi-absolve Galther of guilt, to put a nice little bow on Gila's character before writing her out of the story. So it glosses over what Galther might have did to go back to making him a sad will-be later. The show could have kept the same situation without the implied assault, and it still would have been just as screwed up and gone across the point
No,
that
I-
Galther is unstable. It would
Ink
have
is
been
just in my Ink is
that
sleeping.
simple. And I just want to say,
Here
that
we
the
go,
idea
watch this
that
video,
the
Dark
show is
Mesa-
so
okay, see you
blasé
later,
after
Cassie.
that is a sign that nothing happened, means nothing to me, as this is the same show that treats Elizabeth getting molested as a gag, so I don't have any confidence in it, especially when it can just sweep the whole incident under the rug and not talk about it, as dwelling on what Galther did would turn the audience against him when he is supposed to be one of the good guys. So Galther got a pass. Okay, enough about the goat sin of lust. Let's talk about the real goat. Escanor and Merlin are fine. They don't actually get together, but this dude practically carries the show after season 1, so I owe him for that. Escanor
I'm
is a
doing
human with
alright.
sun-based powers, growing more powerful the closer it is to noon. Merlin is a sorceress, beautiful but sketchy. Escanor is head over heels in love with Merlin, as she was the first person he met that didn't treat him like a monster. Escanor was utterly devoted to her, even though he realized that she wouldn't love him back. At least, not in the way he wanted to be loved. She's also too busy grooming a 16-year-old to rule. But when he saved everyone, in his
I
final
love that
moments,
mustache guy.
Merlin gave him a kiss goodbye, letting his fire burn and scar her. A permanent reminder of kissing the sun and the proud man who wielded it. And finally, do we have a ship that isn't problematic?
Oh, god damn it.
So Merlin is a child. She's 3,000 years old and stopped aging when she was 12. She tricked God and the devil into giving her immortality, amongst other blessings, which is badass, but this. We knew she was way older than she was. Her being 3,000 years old was not a problem, since her and Escorum both met when they were adults. But Merlin is physically a child. She makes herself look like an adult with magic, meaning that this show has another
Immortal child.
which I get. The series has made the 7 deadly sins not looking like their wanted posters a running gag, but this brings home how outside of Galfish, every member of the 7
Don't worry,
deadly
Bingus. The
sins
fucking.
is either dating a child, fell in love
Don't
with a
worry,
child,
Bingus.
or
Escanor is
looks like
fucking
one.
dead.
That's it. That's the theme.
He's
There
fine.
is so much pedo bait in this show that they might as well change the name. It makes up every excuse that it can for why none of this is bad. But every decision here is a choice by the creator. If he wanted, he could have written all of this out. All the young ages,
We're
all
in
the
the ship
appearances,
midway in. What
all
the
naked
fuck?
children. He could have wrote situations that didn't involve a man molesting a girl he's known since she was born. He could have done anything with this series. Yet the choice he always came back to was adults falling in love with children. As you can make excuses for characters in a certain situation like King and Diane, you also have to question why the author wrote this situation like that in the first place. The series is over. Could have ended 80 chapters earlier, but it is over. Happy endings all around, everyone's got kids, and thankfully no one is trying to diddle them.
No. Wait.
Oh, kill me. So 7 Deadly Sins got a sequel, 4 Nights of the Apocalypse. It's about the next generation of heroes despite all the originals being immortal and still in their prime. With all the new characters being immediately on par with their parents, as the anime escalation problem drove the stakes of the series way too high to scale back now. Honestly though, this show getting a Boruto-style sequel is kinda perfect, as the show has only 8 phases for main characters, so it's truly anyone's guess who is related to who. With one of the new main characters being Bond and Elaine's son, Lancelot. This kid has a pretty interesting backstory. He's the first half-fairy ever born, was raised in the fairy forest with his family, was trained in part by Jericho, who went from trying to date Bond to a close family friend in Lancelot's mentor. But the two of them disappeared one day through an invisible door. Lance would return 3 years later, but what happened to Jericho remained a mystery. And after we found out, I think she should have stayed gone. As the villain turned hero came back as a villain. Her crime? Trying to rob the cradle. Yes, Jericho is in love with Lancelot. She couldn't get the father, so now she wants the son. With her motivation for siding with the antagonist being that he'll grant her a perfect world where they're the same age and he's down to fuck her. Because Jericho knows Lancelot only sees her as a mentor and a big sister, and she wants more.
Why?
This is character assassination, and I pray it's revealed that she is brainwashed, as Jericho is easily the best female character that isn't a member of the Sims. She has a massive amount of character growth, from hiding her gender out of fear of being seen as weak, to embracing it when she gets power through the demon blood, only to lose that power and her place in the world, and falling for Bond, becoming his wing woman, as she is the one who forces Elaine to come back to her senses when she is brainwashed. She ends up losing her brother but inheriting his heist powers, and from then on strove to become the best that she could to be worthy of his legacy and to save the world. Jericho is great, so for her to pop back into the sequel, announce that she's in love with Lancelot, that she fell in love
Am
with
I
him
asking why?
when
Dude,
he
the
was
creator of
dead,
whoever created this
that the
shit.
reason she left
Fucking
him was
like,
because she
why?
couldn't hide her
This is just
feelings
pedo
for
bait, I
Bond.
swear to God.
I hate it. But it just falls back into the same pattern as the rest of the series. It does make me laugh though. Just the hypothetical scenario that Lancelot runs to his dad and tells him an adult is hitting on me, and expect to have Bond to have any other reaction than cool. Bond can't say shit. His uncle can't say shit, and his godfather invented the waiting game. But suddenly, now because a villain is doing it, we're supposed to be disturbed. Alright, quick editor note. I just remembered this whole other villain that was obsessed with getting her own 11-year-old. Vivian was trying to date Gil Thunder, holding his real love hostage. Doesn't get it in, of course. It's kind of weird how we have two women preying on younger men and it's immediately treated as villainous. But when it's with little girls, we're just gonna roll with it. Seriously, what the fuck is this creator on? Why does this have to be a recurring thing throughout the entire series? Like, there's so many anime that sexualizes teenagers, but this is the only one where adults are falling in love with teenagers and dating them across the board. And Lancelot isn't even winning in his actual love life, as a 12-year-old that looks like she's a toddler waltzes up to him and kisses him on the lips and announcing that she's seen the future and they're destined to become lovers. Say hello to Guinevere, everyone. A dream come true for pedophiles everywhere, as she's a child who tells our character insert that it's his destiny to bang her and is trying to be flirty despite being 12 years old, announcing that when he's 20, she'll be 16 and it will totally be legal. Also, she was drawn in the nude in a cover page with two other legal minors. You can only see her head and shoulders. That distinction is going to be lost by the FBI. Nanatsu no Taizai has a ton of great moments, but it dabbles way too much in borderline pedo crap for me to recommend. Its blasé approach to what Meliodas does rubs me the wrong way. King and Diane could have been fine, but King is basically an adult who fell in love with a child. Elaine's design speaks for itself. Gauther did what he did, and I'm just so done with all of it. Shonen anime is historically terrible at romance, so the fact that the one that dabbles so heavily in it turned out to be this makes me think they might as well not bother. Okay, subscribe to my channel for shipping and rant videos. Share this one to bring an even bigger shit show to my comments. Follow and yell at me on Twitter. Core is sarcastic. Thank you. Goodbye. I need a nap.
I also need a nap, but I can't do that because I am streaming. Zeph jump scare.
Today I'm going to show you the process of making a skit in Gacha Life.
Yeah, you've been playing Gacha Life a lot this summer.
I'm addicted.
This community has a massive problem with inappropriate.
Why does Sandra look like he was
or
watching this
ignorant
anime? I was like, what the actual fuck? This is not Elagos. This is Koi.
It's really, really bad. It's a very, very family-friendly app made for 9-year-olds, okay? 9+ is what they're saying. 9+!
Playing with action figures, watching Saturday morning cartoons, going outside. This was what the world was like for kids growing up in the early 2000s, but today kids' entertainment has moved from playing with toys to playing on tablets. A lot of parents these days rely on mobile apps to keep their children entertained for hours, and one of the most popular apps being used by kids is Gacha Life. Gacha Life is an anime-themed game where you design your avatar. But what makes Gacha Life stand out is how it gives players a platform to be creative. With its studio mode, Gacha Life players can create scenes for their characters to interact with others. It's like a virtual dollhouse where you can play out thousands of possible scenarios. But letting your imagination run wild might not always be a good thing, because even innocent stories made in Gacha Life hide some of the most disgusting content you'll see on the internet. So how did such a harmless kids game become so twisted? To answer that, let's turn back time and find out how it all started. The father of Gacha Life. Before Gacha Life was created, there was Looney. Looney was a 19-year-old game animator with a dream. On April 1st, 2012, Looney co-founded his own game studio with his friends called Cyan Productions. Cyan Productions sometimes made animated series, but their main focus was game development. The studio worked on simple anime-style flash games. Cyan Productions released around 20 games from the year 2012 to 2015. These games were shut down and are no longer playable. We don't know a lot about Cyan Productions and their games from the mid-2010s. Back then, when games like Farmville were super popular online, Cyan Production games kinda went unnoticed, but things started to shift in 2015. During that year, Looney decided to give Cyan Productions a new name, Lunami Games, named after himself. This change marked a turning point to Lunami Games forever. Lunami Games switched from their signature cyan theme to a cute chibi art style for all their upcoming games. The first game being Anime Gacha. Anime Gacha is based on Japanese toy vending machines where you pop in tokens and hope to get the prize you want.
So it's not
Anime
positive,
Gacha
but
was
then you should
basically
say fuck
a
you and
loot box
stop it.
simulator,
Damn,
but it laid the
Cassie,
foundation
damn.
for what we know today as the Gacha franchise. Starting from Anime Gacha and onto Gacha Studio, each new game in the series basically builds upon the last one. This was actually a smart move because Lunami Games' consistent Gacha feature helped them get more and more fans as time went on. And in 2018, Lunami Games really hit the jackpot. That year, Lunami Games went from another indie studio to becoming one of the hottest mobile game developers thanks to its latest title, Gacha Life. Gacha Life combined the features of Lunami Games' earlier releases, making it their biggest game to date. But there was one thing that skyrocketed Gacha Life to the top rankings on mobile app stores. It was Looney himself. You see, Looney is also a YouTuber who creates Gacha Life content. By encouraging his community to create similar content, he was able to get players to market the game for him. Not only did it kickstart the careers of young YouTubers, but it also helped Gacha Life get over 100 million downloads. But with the player base growing bigger than all their previous games combined, Lunami Games struggled to keep things in check. Looney updated Gacha Life to make it more appropriate to its player base of kids to the best of his ability, but he wasn't responsible for the overwhelming amount of inappropriate Gacha Life videos that get uploaded to social media. As more and more players download the game, Lunami Games found themselves facing a bit of a challenge. You see, their player community was now larger than all their earlier games combined. Looney did his best by rolling out updates to make Gacha Life better for the community. But he couldn't keep up with the huge flood of inappropriate Gacha Life videos popping up all over social media. This is when Gacha Life's reputation took a turn for the worse. Gacha's soulless content farms. In 2017, 1,000 children were asked what their dream jobs were. You think you can take a guess? If you answered YouTuber, you're right, and the results today are still the same. The survey in 2022 pointed out that YouTuber was the top choice. Thousands of kids took their first step in becoming YouTubers because of Gacha Life. They even have a name for this, GachaTuber. YouTubers who create videos based on the game Gacha Life.
There are many GachaTubers that make a range of different content that I'm sure you're aware of. One of the most popular Gacha Life
Yes.
videos is Gacha Life Mini.
Yes.
But there are
Hello,
also
what's up?
series,
What is it?
videos,
What is this we got?
tutorials,
Hello, Dark.
skits, memes, animations, speed paints, and more.
The Gacha Life community stands out from many other fan groups because of how passionate they are for content creation. Sorting through Gacha Life YouTube videos uploaded in the past hour.
Chloe,
notice that
Chloe,
Gacha
I've
Life
been
videos
doing
are
that
uploaded
every
almost
time I
every
meet him,
minute.
bro.
With so many kids sharing their videos for the world to see, Gacha Life turned into a YouTube
Oh, you don't
genre
think I
of
hug
its
my own
own.
boyfriend?
Lunami Games
Damn.
successfully used Roblox's formula of having kids become both the creator and the audience, but the success was short-lived. Gacha Life videos on YouTube aren't just being made by passionate GachaTubers anymore. They're also made by channels that turn Gacha Life videos into content farms. Content farms are channels that push large amounts of videos with low quality and no originality.
What's like the best factory farm type of content on the internet? If your answer is anything but Gacha Life, you're wrong.
The biggest example of this is Gacha Life TikTok compilations on YouTube. These channels post every day. All of them are re-uploaded Gacha Life videos from TikTok with bare minimum editing, and nothing is original. Every compilation video you watch is just a mashup of stuff taken from other content creators. And these channels use the same kind of titles on their videos and have similar channel names. They even use suggestive thumbnails to clickbait viewers. These types of videos get pushed out on YouTube even if they're clearly copied straight up. When channels with little to no effort are pushed out, it becomes tough for GachaTubers who actually put a lot of effort into their content. Because of this, it's left a bad impression on the Gacha Life community and even the ones with clear talent. The number of content farms overtaking GachaTubers is only the tip of the iceberg, because with so many low-effort Gacha Life videos being uploaded every minute, there are harmful videos hidden among them. The channels behind these inappropriate videos even manage to outsmart YouTube's content moderation, the disgusting realm of gacha heat. To reiterate, content farms are run by people who don't care about quality. All they care about is making a quick buck. And in our world today, many businesses just try to create products that cost them near nothing and sell them for as cheap as possible. But there are some shining exceptions. One of our favorites, Holzkern. Founded as a small family business, Holzkern is now the leading brand of wooden watches and natural jewelry. They focus on bringing nature into everything they create. Every piece is unique because they're made with the patterns of the earth like actual wood and stone. Holzkern carries a lot of options from necklaces, bracelets, rings, sunglasses, handbags, and my favorite, watches. So I have my own watch and necklace, and the quality is truly incredible. If you buy their products, Holzkern gives you free express shipping so it arrives quickly and has a 24-month warranty. And something that I've never heard of before is that for US customers, you don't pay taxes. So click the link in the description because I want you guys to find something that you're proud to wear. And if you use the code VENTURE15, you get 15% off any product.
Why are you
Jewelry
scared the
isn't just
baby?
about looks. So
It's
wearing a
gonna
piece
kill
from
me.
nature
I
to
gotcha.
remind you
It
that
was
life
Oli.
is more than just sitting behind a computer screen. Thank you to Holzkern for sponsoring this video. On YouTube,
Why are there only 4 people
720,000
watching? I
hours of
don't give a
content get
fuck at
uploaded
this point,
every
bro.
day. So how does the site
Listen,
algorithm
if
tell
my
if you're
viewers
great
don't want to
content
watch,
type?
I don't give a
This
shit.
is
I don't give a shit.
speculation.
They
Please
have
take
their
it
own
with a
things
lot
to
of
deal
apps
with.
like Amazon use industry standard AI tools. These tools
Also,
are
please don't
used
tell
for
me how many
moderating and
people are
following
watching. That
guidelines
just
on their platform. YouTube is a prime example.
low key, it makes me
Whenever
feel
you
bad
upload a
that
video,
little to no
YouTube's
people
algorithm
watch
checks
me
for two
anymore.
things.
I
If your
don't.
video
I
uses
honestly don't want to
copyrighted
care.
content and if it's suitable
Thank you.
for ads. An ad suitability check scans through a video to tell if there's anything inappropriate. Some of these AI programs are even smart enough to tell the difference between different types of alcohol just based on the liquid. For YouTube,
Exactly.
these content
There's
moderation
also
filters
people.
are trained using machine learning.
Most
The
of my
AI
viewers
goes through
are
millions
always
of
has been in
images to learn
school,
what's
so
safe and
that's
what's
another
not,
reason
but
why.
inappropriate Gacha Life videos are slipping through YouTube's cracks. These problematic videos are so well known that there's even a name for it, Gacha Heat. But why is catching inappropriate Gacha Life videos so difficult for AI? As far as we know, it isn't trained enough to understand innocent-looking content, especially children's animations. But this was happening even before Gacha Life existed, and the internet knew this as the Elsagate controversy, where inappropriate videos slipped through content filters. This controversy was about videos on YouTube featuring popular characters for kids. But if you watch further into the videos, these videos were anything but harmless.
She's
They
gonna
contained
kill me.
shock, and these videos targeted kids. So what was Elsagate and Gacha Heat's secret to avoid moderation? It could be that they almost never featured dialogue. Because of this, it seems that it's even harder to tell what's appropriate from what's not. Moderating
Just got
Gacha
war
Heat became
flashbacks,
so
yup,
problematic that
unfortunately.
TikTok tried to stop users from searching Gacha Life altogether.
The term Gacha Life is actually banned on TikTok. Looking it up directly leads to no results found. But while you're typing it in, it's clear to see they didn't do a very thorough job of blocking that content out, as the autofill shows purposeful misspellings to find that exact content.
For Gacha Heat videos, the
Is
content
that ghost
varies
really
from
warm
videos with
or
sensitive
cold?
storylines to graphic violence.
Ugh.
Horrifying is how easy it is to
Let me
stumble
tell you
across
something,
these
Bingus.
videos. When we
Yes.
typed the letter G in the YouTube search bar, Gacha Heat was already one of the search predictions. Scrolling through the reviews of Gacha Life on child safety websites, you can see that most of the reviews aren't talking about the app. Parents are criticizing Gacha Heat videos that their children were watching, and these inappropriate videos are more common than you think.
If you leave your kids with a tablet and they're on Gacha Life, this is eventually what it'll probably autoplay to, okay?
It's only natural for parents to get upset knowing their kids find and watch these Gacha Heat videos. But for one family, their story would uncover a major problem within the Gacha Life community itself. Hashtag Save the Gacha Community. Gacha Heat existed even before Gacha Life was around. Some of the earliest Gacha Heat videos can be traced back to 2017. This was right after the release of Gacha Studio, the first game in the franchise that introduced Studio Mode. It was only after 2018 when Gacha Life was launched that Gacha Heat videos started picking up steam. Soon enough, Gacha Heat went from being contained
He can
within the
control
Gacha
his
Life
body
community
heat, is what I'm
and
trying to
into
say. I don't know, it
mainstream
sounds
media. On
stupid.
December 16th,
Run!
2019,
She's got a
Brazilian news
knife!
channel Balanço Geral
Worth
featured
it.
Gacha Life in its news report. The segment talked about how a young Gacha Life player was exposed to Gacha Heat. His aunt was shocked to find out about this, which led her to bringing this problem to the local media. The news report on Gacha Life attracted more views than normal, but these views didn't come from concerned parents. They were from the Gacha Heat community who wanted to silence it. But how do we know that? The video received more dislikes than likes. Even though the Gacha Life segment was only 10 minutes out of a 3-hour-long video, most of the comments were from angry Gacha Life fans. They were upset that the video was drawing more attention to the bad side of the community. Some fans were even worried that Gacha Heat would cause Looney, the game's creator, to get arrested. Brazilian Gacha tubers even made videos calling out Balanço Geral. They used the hashtag SaveTheGacha Community to warn people to stop giving attention to the inappropriate side of gacha life. The amount of gacha heat videos seem to overpower the good side of the gacha community. Some fans feel that the only way for gacha heat to go away is if people just ignored it, but there are also those who feel Looney is responsible.
Allow me to show you some of the actual things present in this game. Very inappropriate poses, expressions, and abilities to play the game. Very disgusting references.
Even though Looney updated the game to remove most of these features, it was too late. Gacha heat videos were still being made and the community's reputation was worse than ever. Over the years, hashtag #SaveTheGacha community was used by a lot of different gacha tubers to try and fix the problems happening to the game. Some even use the hashtag to gain views, making videos that don't have anything to do with saving the community. Because of these controversies, this left the gacha life community divided.
I'm really talking about why I don't upload gacha videos anymore. The gacha community was just getting too toxic and out of control, and I just didn't want to be associated with that.
With the Elsagate horrors and the TikTok bans, you think that YouTube is the hub for all these gacha life problems. But what if I told you that gacha life still has yet to hit rock bottom? In this next chapter, we'll show you exactly what I mean. A hazard to kids. Most social media platforms are listed as 12+, but that doesn't stop younger gacha life players from making accounts that connect with each other. And what's one place where many people can come together about the things they love? Amino. The social media app Amino is the perfect place where anyone
Well,
can make their
Amino's
own
shut
community
down,
with the
so
things they're
nothing to
passionate
worry
about.
about.
If you search gacha life on Amino, you can find a lot of different communities. So if
Yay,
you're a gacha life fan,
Spingus.
which one do you join? This was the problem faced by Kala. Kala joined Amino because she wanted to look for other gacha life players just like her. But instead, what she found scarred her forever. Because she was new to Amino, she wasn't sure which gacha life community to be a part of, so she decided to join a few of them. Among these communities, there was one that stood out to her the most. When Kala tried to join this community, she received a message from someone who claimed to be working for Amino. This person explained to her that the community she tried to join was a safe space for young girls. And if she wanted to be a part of it, she had to send a photo of herself to verify who she was. But this wasn't just any photo. This person asked for an inappropriate one. Thankfully, Kala knew something was off and told her mother immediately. Her mom was horrified and reported what her daughter found to the authorities. Kala was safe, but the same couldn't be said for all those people who already joined that community. Since Lunami Games removed the chat feature in order to protect younger players, the only way to talk to other players is outside of the game itself. Horrible people always find a way to take advantage of these players. Even some beloved gacha tubers have been exposed for manipulating their fans to do horrible things. Gacha life was intended for kids, but the community has grown so much that it's even attracted an older audience. There isn't much Lunami Games could do because the dangers now go further than the game itself, and its problems aren't going to go away anytime soon. Being part of the gaming community is supposed to be fun. It's a place where you can laugh, cry, and even share lifelong friendships. But remember this, the internet gives us access to pretty much everyone, but it also gives everyone access to us. So explore this space with care. Visual Venture. Wait, before you go, click this playlist right here to watch more dark internet documentaries because the algorithm is going to promote my channel more if you guys watch multiple videos. Thank you guys so much for being here. I love you guys so much. Peace.
He's so sleepy. I How did she get into his head? That's adorable. Look at that. She tiny. She tiny baby. She tiny baby. What is she tiny? She's so cute. Oh, she's adorable. Protect this little baby. Yes.
Mario and horror go pretty hand in hand nowadays. In fact, I go as far as to say that this is the strongest the two have ever been connected. Sure, there's the classics such as the I Hate You story or the countless different creepypasta games, but this past year, or hell, maybe even these past couple years, Mario horror content has been chugging along way faster. First, there was the Mario 64 personalized trend of 2020, which also helped kick. Admit, I might have went a little overboard because I would save like after every 30 seconds of gameplay. Saving's not the only tool you have at your disposal. You also have a journal, which Mario will periodically write in and mark down what's been happening. This isn't exactly useful, but it is neat to have. Alright, enough of that, back to the game. This time, choosing to reach into the fountain, you receive a it reminds me of an anime opening, and the song kind of supports this. It's a banger song, no doubt, but
Mario in the music box, yes. Alright, let's go.
I'll have over the course of this video, if Mario fits into the setting of this game well, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. I do know
When I hear Fatal Trouble, how she gets... What's Fatal Trouble?
To get 10% off of your order. Guess that old Italian
Welcome
son of a
back,
gun knows
Rose.
a good drink when he tastes it,
How you
so
got to...
go do that right now.
How did Akrama got into Cuphead's head?
Hearing that people who go there
Simple.
never come back, and that
Cuphead was the one who put her there.
Princess Peach were going to investigate, but Mario eventually just decides to go on his own. This begins what will be Mario's biggest mistake since the new Super Series. This is also where the story differentiates itself from other Mario horror games. While the majority of games include other Mario characters, different settings from the games, and of course some classic Mario platforming, Mario the Music Box almost entirely alienates itself from the Mario universe that we know. The only remnants of that stuff we get are of course Mario and Luigi being playable characters, brief appearances of Princess Peach, mostly in the endings of the game, and small remarks Mario will make from time to time about Boo's or Bowser. Other than that, you're stuck in this unfamiliar territory with many secrets to explore and a deep backstory to unravel. Sorry, I got a bit sidetracked there. Let's get back to Mario's silly adventures. Mario arrives at the mansion, however, it appears that the front doors are jammed. To unjam them, you happen to find a glowing spot in the fountain. This is where one of the main elements of the game comes into play. It's this crazy new mechanic that they call
No, the baby
Undyne.
will drown.
Basically,
Get
if you
her
choose
out
to
of there.
super
Nah, she'll be...
long
No, here's the thing. She'll be fine.
option,
She has lungs of titanium.
some horrific man.
There are like hundreds of deaths. This will make you turn to a Pokemon trainer where you gotta catch them all.
Oh yeah, creator of Mario in the Music Box, the creator of Mario in the Music Box. So basically, what happened was, she killed she killed someone. That's why that's why she fucking got arrested. You want to know the thing? You know how like the entire premise of Mario and apparently the entire premise of Mario in the Music Box is like there's this like woman. There's like the villain was like a woman, right? She basically fucking like I don't know like killed and like burned someone or burned people or something along those lines. But then guess what? Guess what? Apparently the creator got mad at somebody or got jealous. Or got jealous at someone. Fucking, I don't know who it is, but basically, she basically burned him alive or some shit. Yeah, I'm not kidding. It was the exact same premise as the woman in Mario Mario the Music Box, and I'm like, huh. I feel like that was like foreshadowing, or it seems like it was supposed to be a hint that the creators kind of fucked up a little bit. Because the villain of the game literally got jealous of this and that just burned someone or basically everybody. And then the creator did the same thing. Yeah.
It's similar to the RPG Maker game Misao, where you really
In a
have to
sense,
think
yes,
about the
Cassie.
choice before you choose something.
Insane,
This
I
game's
know.
a little more forgiving about it though, because you can save wherever and whenever you want right from your menu. That's nice, but I'll admit I might have went a little overboard because I would save like after every 30 seconds of gameplay. Saving's not the only tool you have at your disposal. You also have a journal, which Mario will periodically write in and mark down what's been happening. This isn't exactly useful, but it is neat to have. Alright, enough of that, back to the game. This time, choosing to reach into the fountain, you receive a crowbar which you can use to pry the mansion doors open. This is where you're
Hi,
finally introduced to the inside
Hi,
of the mansion,
Moana.
the place that you'll be spending about 90% of the game in. Get comfy. However, you don't actually have to stay here because you could just immediately turn around and go back outside and leave the mansion for good. I honestly wasn't expecting to be able to leave immediately, but goddamn if it isn't the smartest ending of all horror game history. The game could call me a coward all it wants. I lived, asshole. You travel around the mansion a bit, and eventually you hear music in the distance. By the way, I'm totally gonna switch between first, second, and third person a bunch here, and I apologize in advance. It turns out that the music is coming from a music box? The music stops as you finally get some light in the form of a totally not cursed lantern. Speaking of cursed, you personally wouldn't want to take the music box in the game called Mario the Music Box, right? Well, it doesn't matter, you don't get a choice, because Mario decides to take the haunted music box because it looks pretty.
Actually, one of the few parts of the game where you can't choose anything.
This, by the way, sets the rest of the game's obstacles in motion, and it's all because
Okay, Cassie.
Mario's a kleptomaniac. Obviously, scary stuff begins to happen soon after,
Okay,
but it's
Rose.
too late, as the doors to the mansion have disappeared, leaving you to find another exit. It's now up to you to explore around the mansion, solving various puzzles to try and escape. Like I said earlier, it's pretty similar to other RPG Maker horror games, but I'm not complaining because goddammit, I love these things. You can pick up various notes and items to help solve puzzles or access different areas. Also, I discovered that Mario, for some reason, has a deep hatred for fake flowers. Like, he hates these things. He has different dialogue every single time you interact with one, I swear.
Techie, if you're asking me.
This also marks the part of the game where dying is now possible. And when I say dying is now possible, I mean you're going to die a lot. Now, it's not all just instant death as soon as you click something, but normally it's an option you choose that will kill you. One early example of this includes trying to cross this weird muddy lake, only to be pulled underneath by a monster. Another example includes sleeping in some random bed and waking up to find that you are now buried alive, which, like, why would you sleep here, Mario?
One of the best death scenes was the fake door death scene in the original 2014-2015 game. It's certified classic.
Lastly, another common death is being directly attacked by one of the ghosts in the game. And let me tell you, this game does not shy away from gore. Like, Jesus, man, that's Mario you're chomping on. He was in Mario Land too. Anyways, I'd love to sit here and list off every potential death scene, but I'll just be mentioning some here and there as I discuss the game. If you really want to see them, go play the game for yourself, but let me tell you, some of these are brutal. Also, I remember being really annoyed as a kid because Mario was super weak and dying to tame things like scissors and ghosts. I didn't really register it at the time that there could be new takes on characters like Mario. How sick would this game be if Mario got like the penguin suit or something? Let me tell you, those ghosts would be running. Throughout the first part of this game, we find various notes that give some backstory as to who this mansion belonged to and what happened that left the mansion in this state. Specifically, we hear of a woman named Alice and her family consisting of her husband and 2 daughters. Alice apparently fell ill one day and, wanting to become immortal so that she could stay with her husband, took the life of her family to fulfill a ritual that would accomplish this. The story gets crazy later on, but just for now, know that the spirits haunting this place consist of Alice, her dead family, and the others that live in or around the mansion. After exploring the mansion and Mario getting attacked by some girl with scissors, you can use a code to open this chest to get even more scissors. Once again, Mario, you could just Goomba stomp this evil girl into oblivion. Oh, wait, you can't stomp on ghosts in Mario. My bad. You can use the scissors to access this library room, which has like 80 lore books you can read that better explain the story. We now learn that the 2 daughters were named Serena. And
Imagine the creator of
Alice
the
wanted
game
to
was also
sacrifice
named Alice. No, her name was Jessica.
Serena, but then the husband
Name
was
is
against
Jessica.
hurting the
Whoopsie.
kids,
Alright.
and then the kids just disappeared. Alice pretended to be innocent, and yeah, Alice just ended up dying. You can grab the master bedroom key from this chest, and then after escaping the scariest thing of all, books, you can proceed to obtain another secret code. I didn't really mention it, but most things you need to progress are locked behind code. They can be deciphered by counting items near the room, finding someone's birthday, finding notes, all that fun stuff. One of the items you can find is a note sheet, which you can actually play on this piano. Make sure you use the completed note sheet though, because if you play the incomplete note sheet that you can find, well, then this happens. I think it's hilarious that you can just play so badly that the piano itself is just like, nah, you gotta die for that one. Also, yes, I know it's a Mario 64 reference. No need to make fun of me in the comments. I know.
We of course need to bring back this traumatic event from my childhood.
Playing the correct note sheet attracts Aria, one of the spirits haunting the house. She compliments your playing and is all like, I'm just playing piano and working on my song. And then Mario's like, you mean this song? And then Aria's like, hell yeah, go take whatever you want from the kitchen. The kitchen has a safe where you can obtain the last key you need to get around the mansion. Also, you can get locked in the freezer and slowly have your body shut down and realize your demise is inevitable. I told you, some of these deaths are f***ed. Mario 3D World would have been a lot darker if this could happen, let me tell you. Heading up to the bedroom, a book on the shelf calls out to Mario. As you read it, you read more about how Alice killed for her husband, Serena was already dead for some reason, she apparently despised
Fishing.
Anna, yada yada, we've heard it all before.
Close enough. Never trusted Jessica.
Messing with
So you're telling me we shouldn't trust Jessica Rabbit and Myth of the Machine?
Mario as he
Hi,
starts
Angry.
to hear a loud noise and start to feel a sharp pain in his head. Turns out that Alice is slowly but surely taking control of Mario, to which she succeeds. This ends what I consider to be the first part of the game, and with Mario MIA for this part, it's up to our man Luigi to take the stage. How funny would it be if, like, Wario popped up instead? I'm just saying, if Wario the Music Box ever comes to exist, I'm playing that in a heartbeat. With Mario's fate left unknown, you finally get to play as someone else, the Green Man himself, Luigi. I immediately got dragged behind a door and killed. Off to a great start.
We're Luigi fans, Zach. You can imagine how excited I was when I got to play Luigi in another mansion setting. Again.
Luigi, concerned for Mario's well-being, enters the mansion.
No,
to search.
Jessica.
This strange faceless
Now that
Mario
Jessica's the
eventually
girl.
attacks. Unfortunately, this is not the normal Mario who just happened to drop his face somewhere. This is the mansion's early attempts to absolutely f*** with Luigi. Also, holy shit, something about seeing Luigi getting choked out is way sadder than seeing it happen to Mario. Poor little fella. Luigi's luck gets even worse as he stumbles across Mario's corpse, which absolutely shatters his world. Forget Mario being dead and gone forever for a second. There's a Professor Egad mention. Let's go! After dealing with the dead Mario, Luigi enters a room with another dead Mario. I'm fairly certain that Luigi knows it isn't really real at this point, but he still reacts to every goddamn dead Mario like it's the first one he's seen. Oh, boo-hoo, I'm cursed to see my closest friend and brother murdered over and over again. Cry about it, Snowflake. Hashtag live alone. Anyways, a new mechanic is finally introduced as you're given a black light. You can use the black light to see hidden messages in rooms and even look at notes in a different way. It's nothing major, but it's a nice addition to the gameplay. After some more exploration, which includes finding a hidden blacklight code, you stumble across a chest. Opening said chest reveals a bunch of jewels and gold. Oh my goodness. Nah, it's just a dead kid. Sorry, Luigi. You're immediately flung into what appears to be some sort of flashback as you witness some child run into the room and be killed by his aunt. Judging by the dialogue, I'm sure you could put two and two together. That was Alice's nephew who just got pranked to death. The next major area you find is outside, and once again, there's a fake Mario. I thought this one would be more helpful because he's saying things like, don't succumb to the darkness, but then he proceeds to traumatize
Wait, I
Luigi.
forgot. Did you draw Frenzy as a
Mario
baby?
jumps
Yes, I
Luigi
did.
makes me really sad. Like, god damn it, Luigi, don't say any of that stuff. I'm here for you.
One of the few moments in this game that made me cry like a bitch.
I had to break up the sad moment by letting Luigi take a bath in the fountain. Aw, even Mario tries to help. Exploring onwards, Luigi stumbles across a, rope structure on the ceiling. This is where another spirit in the house is revealed, one of the maids that used to work here. Basically, Alice wanted to kill the maid named Rosa so that she could be sacrificed. To avoid this, Rosa took her life so that Alice couldn't complete the ritual. Once again, Luigi should not be the one dealing with this. There's another spirit you encounter, but he's not as friendly as Rosa. Or maybe he's just too friendly and likes to hug your throat really, really tight. In the room shared by the spirits, a locked chest is present. You can use the black light to decipher the code, find a picture of Rosa from when she was alive, and give the picture to the spirit. Turns out that the angry spirit was in love with Rosa, and he was murdered. Wonder who could have done that one. Anyways, he's nice now, and you can leave the area. Luigi immediately runs into this blonde anime dude, who, unlike everybody else, is an actual human being named Reba, who's also stuck in this mansion. I hate this guy, but more on that later.
Wait, how can you possibly hate on that guy? He's the GOAT!
Luigi gets shrugged off by this Danganronpa-ass white guy, and he moves on to the mansion. You can get stared at by the evil Mario and complete this clock puzzle by changing the time, which reveals a secret stairway. You can't just escape evil Mario, though, because he's waiting for you with a big, warm smile. Aww. Wait, I take the all back. He's faceless again. Okay, Jesus, he has a face again. Never mind. A chase scene occurs where you gotta book it, but pots keep getting in your way. This is one of the only instances where I died unintentionally, because I wasn't expecting these pots to move in front of me. After even more dead Mario, like, come on, we get it, Luigi can't take it anymore and breaks down crying. Once again, he just thinks this is the real Mario, even though 5 seconds ago, he calls out the fake Mario for being fake. This man is so gullible. With Luigi stuck grieving, it's up to Reba, our favorite piece of shit, to go through the mansion. I'm not joking, you're gonna hate this guy. You enter the third part of the game, or at least I think it's the third part. I basically considered each time you change characters a different part. And then there's the fourth part, which is the game's ending, and it's just anyways. You now play as Reba, who happens to hear Luigi crying, but he just ignores it. After Reba argues with the voice in his head, I guess, Reba hears another scream, but instead of Mr. Green, it's actually Mr. Red. Mr. Red seems pretty startled, though, and runs away. Reba, being the great friend he is and not trying to use Mario at all, he tries to talk to Mario as he runs away. After Mario pushes him away even more, another mechanic is introduced into the game. Well, I shouldn't say another mechanic, it's basically just making another choice like normal, but this time you've got a little heart that you have to drag over your answer. I personally wouldn't recommend trying to hug Mario immediately because, you know, Mario's all possessed and stuff, but it doesn't even matter if you die, because as Reba, you cannot die by picking the wrong option. Eventually, you can talk to him, wear him down a bit, and Mario hits
Wow,
his head.
wonder who Eligas got that sleeping curled up from.
Mario unconscious, more lore is dropped. Reba reads about the ritual that Alice tried attempting, and the voice in its head reveals itself to be this weird cat god thing, and the cat wants to shoot the shit. I mean, I wouldn't be so dismissive of this cat, Reba. They seem pretty chill, except for the part where they say that Reba will die. Then the cat seems super chill. While this is happening, Mario is in this weird dream world where he actually encounters Alice. She informs Mario that she's going to be taking over his body, to which Mario does nothing but go, ooh, leave me alone. Transported into this weird hallway, Mario now encounters a little girl, starts throwing up blood, and wakes up from this strange dream. Mario and Reba officially meet after this and eventually team up. Move over, Luigi. It's time for the Mario and Reba series of games. After exploring around for a while, the two come across this gap. Wanting to find a way across, Reba wants to go back into the mansion. You gotta play your cards right with this, though. If you let Mario go in instead of you, he gets killed. If you leave without saying anything, Mario falls off the cliff and dies. If you give Reba the lantern to go inside, Reba gets eaten immediately. You really can't win here. You have to let Reba go inside the mansion with no light, and after having another heart-to-heart with the cat about purpose and needing help or something, you finally find a plank of wood to cross the gap. It turns out that Mario's an even bigger Reba hater than I am, as after you go back to check on him, Mario is now in the mansion threatening Reba's life. It's revealed that anytime Mario's got these spooky green eyes, it means that Alice is in control. Anyways, now you gotta run away from the possessed Mario and find a hiding spot. This is also where the funniest thing in the entire game takes place. Like, I audibly laughed so hard at this. Let me just play the scene for you.
Which are my favorite deaths in the Ultimate music box as well. But in the sequel, there is something even better. Trust me.
The correct thing to do here is hide in the closet, jump out and choke Mario, but let Mario come back to consciousness. Reba to find some food. This is a pretty fun part of the game, as you gotta choose the right mushroom in this cave to give to Mario. Some of them are edible but do nothing. Some of them are too bitter, and some of them just immediately kill him in the most brutal way possible. For example, there's this one little white mushroom here that if you feed to Mario, he just turns into more little white mushrooms. Whoopsies, didn't mean to do that. Once you get Mario back up on his feet, you can cross this bridge over here. This is where Alice stops Reba and reveals that she actually wants to work together. Also, Reba and Alice know each other from before Alice died, but we'll talk about that here in a bit. Alice tells Reba that if he brings Mario to her for the ritual, she'll let him go. Reba, being the piece of shit that he is, immediately agrees to do so. Mario, who continues on, finds the grave of the two daughters of Alice. It's also revealed that their father's name was Reba? What? Okay, it's somewhat obvious if you read all the little notes in the game, but it's still a neat twist. Anyways, Reba yells, "Fire in the hole!" and knocks Mario unconscious. Another dream sequence in Mario's head plays, and this time it's the death of that butler that we saw earlier. Alice did indeed kill him. Real sad. I'm probably gonna cry about it later. Also, Alice reveals that she's doing this because she loves Reba. I don't know, man. Back to Luigi, he actually runs into Reba again, who just so happens to be carrying an unconscious Mario. Reba is then chased down by Luigi, which I don't blame Reba for running. Being hunted down by Luigi has to be terrifying. Mario, after being dropped by Reba, wakes up and tries to leave again. This time he gets locked.
Would Elagos wear a dress?
Painting in it. And for some reason, it turns into Princess Peach holding a syringe. You know what? I won't question it. You can't escape this room normally. You have to run around the room, grab some alcohol in the match, and burn her to the ground. I will say, it's nice seeing a new method of escaping a threat in this game. It's mostly just been running away up to this point. The spirit burns and calls out the Mario-Alice hybrid for being an asshole. Turns out that was Alice's sister, and Alice kinda killed both of her kids. Like, you know, that one kid we saw on the chest? Yeah, that was hers. Mario rightfully tells her that he just wants to get out of here, and she's all like, "Damn, I hate lemon people. Good luck dealing with that Alice in your head. See ya." After this, you can leave, and Mario and Luigi finally reunite. God damn, that feels good to see. As soon as this happens, Mario the Music Box is officially in the end game, because from here on out, you can work your way towards one of the endings. Don't worry though, because we are far from over. There's like 6 of these things to cover. Now technically, there are 8 endings in total, but 2 of them are if you just immediately leave, either at the beginning of the game or when you first play as Luigi. The other endings will derive from where you go at this point in the mansion next. Mario and Luigi suggest going to the front door again, which if you choose to follow, will enact the missing ending. Making your way back to the front door, you can finally leave and run away from the house. However, Mario feels doubtful that this is actually the end, so he immediately wants to go back into the mansion. Luigi obviously protests this, and Mario, in a very calm fashion, turns around and stabs Luigi. Alice has now taken complete control over Mario and leaves Luigi there to bleed to death. The game ends, and you get a message saying that your adventure isn't over yet and that you've hit an arc. This is a reference to the continuation of the game, which I have yet to reference, called Mario the Music Box Arc. Now, it does mean that this ending is technically canon, which I think is dumb and stupid, but I won't be talking about Arc here today, simply because it just has so much going on for it that it could be its own video.
Great headcanon, Cassie. Great headcanon. That's all I'll say.
The lamp scene that we mentioned earlier. And it would be a shame to not show it to the audience in the future. Plus, this is where you're gonna get sympathy for Reba, a certified Reba hater.
That was definitely the quickest ending of the bunch. The rest of them require a little more exploration and effort, but they've got a lot more to them too. If you choose to enter the mansion, but instead of going to the front door, you go upstairs, there's 2 more endings you now have access to. After you make your way upstairs and also refuse to go into this random room that Mario will probably kill you in, Mario seems to pass out and is stuck in a strange comatose state, with the possessed green eyes, of course. Also, he's coughing blood, so you better move fast.
I'm right here, Bingus.
Earlier, to which Rosa offers her help. She claims that she'll help your brother out, but you gotta help her remember the person that she loves. If you remember earlier, the person that she loved was actually the butler, Alfred. Although he seems like a huge creep through his diary entries, we gotta help anyways. There's also this door here that's guarded by Alfred and Rosa, but we'll talk about that soon. To help out Rosa, you can retrieve the name of Alfred, an apology letter, and an engagement ring. The engagement ring's a bit of a doozy to obtain, but you need to do it to get this part right. Once you get your because it leads to her taking over Luigi's body and then murdering Mario immediately after. It's in multiple different ways too. You gotta admire the creativity.
In my playthrough, just out of curiosity, I tried to get as many devs as possible. You know, gotta make that really focus.
When you do help her out, the item you get from her is holy water, which now you can finally get one of the two different endings. The first one actually has you returning the gift to Rosa, as in returning the holy water into her face and killing her. Oh, don't forget Alfred too. He's still in the back after you took his ring away. You obtain the key to get through the door that was blocked off before and actually escape the mansion. However, Alice
Hi,
never
Bixby.
actually leaves Mario, as he can't move or speak or do anything anymore. He's kinda just left to be comatose for God knows how long. Anyways, Luigi wants to mercy kill him, he cries, and that was the end. Jesus Christ, that was sad. It's like if there was a new Sonic game where if you didn't get all the Chaos Emeralds, you had to watch Sonic's leg get amputated. Now, if you use the water for its intended use and splash it on Mario, then he comes to, and you guys can go outside. Something finally goes right for once, and when they go outside, Reba is dead on the ground. Let's go! Anyways, Alice is pretty pissed that you won't give her your body, and it's time for a boss fight. Not for a quick monologue, though. This animation plays during the boss fight, which despite the short amount of time it's actually on screen, is super cool to see. To fight Alice, you have to choose the amount of holy water you want to splash, and then time your spacebar while the arrow is in the green on this little bar that pops up. The more water you try to use, the smaller the green area is, and the faster the arrow goes. Basically, you gotta throw enough to kill Alice before she kills you first, and let me tell you, she fucking destroys you, actually ripping you in half while Mario does a realistic scream of bloody murder.
In my opinion, probably the most best those blood killing screams I felt that.
You finally defeat Alice, and Mario is relieved. But unfortunately for him, the music box breaks in the process of Alice's defeat, and Mario is presumably sucked into the music box. Also, Mario does another realistic scream, which is always great. Being the cool red man he is, Mario decides to not let the curse of the music box hurt anybody else, and actually sacrifices himself to contain the curse forever. Also, he turns into a Fortnite skin in the process. Also, Alice is now a baby for some reason. Also, now Mario doesn't exist anymore, and Luigi eventually has his memory wiped so that he isn't sad about Mario being gone. There's a lot of alsos. After all that chicanery, Fortnite Mario raises Alice as his own daughter, teaching her to survive on her own. He does this because one day he just decides to drop on her that he's leaving forever and barely gives her a chance to even say goodbye. Fortnite Mario goes back to the cursed mansion forever, Alice is like a person again, and the game comes to a close. I really liked that ending. It was a bittersweet one, and the idea that Alice deserves a second chance was a little odd to me, but I guess that the mansion did curse her to be insane and whatnot, so I don't know. Also, the Fortnite Mario looked cool. I can't wait for him to drop in the new battle pass.
I hope you guys think I'm right as it's like it was good the next season.
We're closing in on the last 4 endings of the game, and let me tell you, these are drastically different from the other ones. Like Luigi accidentally destroying the world. I told you, this shit gets crazy. Back to the initial Mario and Luigi meetup, if you decide not to go through the front door or upstairs, you can actually explore through the mansion once again. Don't pick up this random ringing phone though, it somehow awakens Alice like a sleeper agent when she stabs Luigi. Another tip, don't look into the mirror. Mario doesn't look too great. His eyes also turn into olives for some reason. After finding a fireplace and Mario almost gets sucked up into said fireplace, Mario obtains a gate key and also coughs up a piece of a medallion. I don't blame him though, because if I saw a shiny gold object on the ground, I'd eat it right up. You combine the 2 medallion pieces, which I totally mentioned the first piece of the medallion before, you just didn't hear me, and you can bring it to this safe that seems to be missing its knob. Crack that safe open to reveal a dispel charm and a family photo featuring Eva and Alice standing together. Aw, what a beautiful family. It's a shame Alice pretty much killed everybody in this picture. Mario shot into the dream world again, and this time you see Anna, Alice's daughter, being confronted by this girl Marie. She was the one who ate Reba in the dark a while ago. Anyways, Anna just straight up confesses to killing her sister Serena, which explains why Serena died before Alice could sacrifice her. Alice, being the absolutely loving mother she is, takes the news of her daughter's murder just a little too hard. Oh, but she's innocent, guys. It's just the curse that created her hatred for her adopted daughter since the moment she met her. Annoying. With the dispel charm you found in the time to ponder if you want to make that decision or not, but I also feel like it just gives
That's
a bit of a
awesome to hear,
surprise away,
Bixby.
you know? A nice quality of life feature, but I can take it or leave it.
As an Let's Play, I appreciated it in the morning, so I knew when to make a separate save file. Helped me save some time before I had to reload the new game again after this point.
There's also a grave right outside the cave where you can enter into the mine shaft, and interacting with it reveals the bones of a child. This game does not shy away from this stuff, god damn. The grave belongs to Serena, and she wants to remember how she died, so it's up for you to find something that'll remind her something. Oh yeah, helping her changes your ending, by the way, if that wasn't obvious. Anyways, into the coal mine. Whoopee! The mine's filled with these mindless ghost miners, and you gotta navigate without getting into any trouble, like touching old stagnant water. Definitely don't touch old stagnant water, because Luigi just happens to get something in his eye, and of course that something is this crazy tooth parasite monster. God forbid the water is normal for once. Eventually, you encounter the other sister, Anna. She tries to keep you away from a certain area, but pushing onward not only knocks Luigi out, which what the hell, Anna, not cool, but also reveals her to Mario. She's like, I hate you, and then Mario's like, what if I save you all? And then she's like, alright, I guess. This area you find also contains a little bow, which is the reminder you need to give to Serena back outside. Giving her the bow, she remembers, oh yeah, my sister chased me down in the woods and brutally killed me. That's right.
Nah, bro. And it was going full Shovel Knight over actually.
Anna apologizes though, so Serena immediately forgives her and they make up. Like, I get it, it wasn't entirely Anna's fault. She had some weird ghost demon girl haunting her named Beatrice, and she was pushing her hard to do these things. But god damn, Serena forgives her so fast. Like, Anna goes on this whole spiel about how their mom loves Serena more. That shit felt super personal. I wouldn't forgive her so fast. Anyways, if you do this, it doesn't come up again until the very end, so hold on, we'll get there. Back into the mine shaft, and after crossing a bridge over lava, which the Mario brothers do all the time, why are they so scared? They're trapped into a new area by some rubble. Luigi gets fucking pissed and yells at Mario, which scares him away. Aw, poor Luigi. Mario must be feeling awful. Alright, never mind, he looks like he's doing great. Now, under Alice's control, Mario attacks. But
This whole music box family's full of murderers, literally.
Carries Mario away to start the ritual, and Luigi is left to catch up. Mario awakens to yet another dream sequence, this time revealing that Reba found out that Anna was murdered by Alice. That didn't end so well for Alice after that. Mario wakes up and he's told about the ritual about to take place. Reba does offer Luigi safety if Mario just cooperates, to which Mario does agree. Back to our green man, the cat from earlier approaches Luigi and is like, hey crybaby, you gonna cry? And that gives Luigi the push to keep going. This is where the final scene of the game takes place, and depending on what you've done up to this point, you can get 4 different endings. Or you can accidentally find this black cat behind a mushroom and get spoon-fed any ending you want. I swear on my life I found this by accident. Approaching the end of the game, Luigi stumbles across the ritual taking place. Mario is absolutely eating it up in Alice's dress, and Reba is doing the ritual for her. Reba tells Luigi what's what and then tells him to leave. Now, normally you're not supposed to leave, you're supposed to stay and help Mario, obviously, but if you do decide to leave, oh boy, did you fuck up. Luigi leaves the mine shaft thinking, maybe I shouldn't have left my brother to get possessed by a murderous ghost wing. He doesn't have much time to ponder it though, because as soon as he leaves the cave, the world is in flames and disarray.
Z, Luigi or Mario? Go, Luigi.
Explains that he messed up by letting Alice walk free, and yeah, the world's just kinda gone. Nice going, dumbass.
This ending wasn't the first original version back in 2015. This was quite shocking to me when I first encountered it.
Now, if you decide to stop Reba, he tries to attack, but immediately gets killed. Reba doesn't live in like any of the endings, and honestly, I think that's how it should always go.
And that's why the missing ending is the canon event. Because we still got a few questions open about that fishing pole.
Anyways, Mario has begun to get permanently taken over by Alice, who traps Luigi in this strange clock tower place. The newly named Malice, which, do you get it? It's like Mario and Alice combined. It's crazy. Monologues to Luigi for a bit. Anyways, Mr. Green does what Mr. Green does and goes to stop her, and the final and true boss fight has finally arrived. While you're in the clock tower, you gotta disable all these strange light things before the 2 minutes are up and Mario is possessed forever. There are 6 lights, and when you interact with one of them, you gotta time your arrow again to land at this green area in the bar, similar to how the other Alice boss fight went. Except Except with each light that you deactivate, it becomes much more difficult. You need to land multiple bars in a row, they speed up, they get difficult.
Yeah, if you suffer from skill issues.
While you're doing this, Alice and her shadow cronies chase you down. If you run out of health, you better be able to land that bar again, or else you're met with a torso full of silly shadow guys.
That reminds me, in OG games, you have to match the spacebar in to survive, and god, you needed to actually go for world record pace while mashing to actually defeat her. After that fight, I swear my whole freaking mouth was sore. But anyways.
I will admit, it was a little annoying to get the hang of though, especially if you're cornered and you're trying to immediately click on the lamp again. You might accidentally get yourself killed because the bar you need to dodge Alice's attacks will pop up. After deactivating 6 lights, Malice, I keep forgetting, shrugs whatever it was you just did off. Wait, actually, what was the point of turning those lamps off? I have no clue. Alright, now we're finally to the end of the game, and from here there's 3 different endings you can get. It really all depends on how you interact with Anna back in the mine shaft, so you better hope you did the right thing, or else you're doing the whole mine shaft portion again. Or you could just talk to the magic spoon-feeding cat who hides behind the mushroom, whoever that asshole is. Now, if you completely ignored Anna in the mine shaft and went straight to the right with Mario, you get what's called the sealed end. After Malice shrugs off your light switch attacks, the spirit of Anna tells you to use the music box to trap Alice in. She's red in this scene though, that's how you know she's evil. Luigi prepares to trap her once more, but Alice is a sore loser and decides to take Mario with her. As soon as she's trapped in the box, Mario gets pushed off a cliff, Luigi can't grab him in time, and he dies. Thankfully, Ghost Mario is here to ease Luigi's fears, as Ghost Marios do. Luigi manages to escape the mansion and make his way towards the Mushroom Kingdom. Let me just say, it's still so damn weird to see other Mario characters in this game. You're telling me Toad existed in the same universe that Mario got twisted into a meat pretzel?
Can I please remind you that this is a canon Mario character?
Anyways, Luigi makes it home and tells the princess everything. Luigi goes to retrieve Mario's body just as he had promised Ghost Mario, one realistic Luigi scream later, and roll credits, baby. I do feel bad for Luigi in this ending, but hey, it can always be worse. If you interact with Anna, but don't help her and Serena out, you get what's called the puppet ending. Anyways, defeat Alice, she shrugs off your light flickering shenanigans again, and you present the music box. However, this time it seems to actually work, and Alice is sealed away. Luigi and Mario escape, and it appears to be all over. Mario notes that something feels off though, like half of him is missing or something. Later, they make it back to the house, and oh my goodness, butt-naked Mario? That's gotta be the scariest thing in this whole game. Anyways, Mario seems pretty distant the rest of the night, going to bed early and just seeming odd. Luigi is very concerned. Could it be because he just went through a life-changing traumatic experience? Surely not. Okay, well, apparently Luigi is right to be concerned because apparently part of Alice is still with Mario, and Mario was...
At least Mario died in that
Luigi
beautiful
wakes up
dress,
in the middle of
Lamau.
the night.
I'm
Mario
okay.
tells Luigi to hold his knife for a second, and Alice successfully takes Mario's body for her own, ending the game. See, Luigi could have had it way worse, but I know what you want to see. You want to see an ending where everybody actually, lives. And don't you worry, because we saved the best for last. Now, if you did what I talked about earlier and reconnected Serena and Anna, after you defeat Malice and she hits you with the possessed Mario stare, you proceed into the final ending. Serena and Anna actually help you this time as they hold back Alice, as Luigi seals her away once and for all. No fake outs this time, no dead or possessed Marios, this one's for realsies. The two brothers make their way out of the mine shaft to a rising sun. They enjoy their first moment of peace in what seems to be months. It's then interrupted by this dumbass though. Alice begs them not to leave and that she only did everything she did because she was blinded by love for Reba. Oh, come on! You killed so many people! Oh, I've been a horrible mother. No shit! Anyways, it's kind of implied that Reba was the true villain all along, so I'm not too mad about this ending, but Alice, you do not deserve forgiveness. Mario, however, being himself, shatters the music box, freeing Alice's spirit to pass on to the next life. I think this is the first time that we see Mario's video game personality leak through. Mario is the nicest guy in existence after all. I mean, he's Mario. With all the spirits freed, Mario and Luigi make it back to the Mushroom Kingdom. They decided not to tell anyone about what happened, which if I was Peach, I would be pissed that after being missing for months they wouldn't say anything. But I mean, I get it. Luigi did see like 80 dead Marios after all.
PTSD must be real for sure.
Also, Bowser gets mentioned, which is hilarious. Why didn't he fight Alice? No, better yet, why didn't Wario come in with the shoulder charge to mess her up? Anyways, Mario burns a journal with all the notes from his adventure, and the two watch the journal go up in flames, with this terrible tragedy never needing to be brought up again. And with that, the story of Mario the Music Box finally comes to an end. Oh, also, there's a post-credit scene of Reba trying to kill the cat, as Reba does, and then he gets jumped by a bunch of ghosts. I guess he lived after all, but thankfully not for too long.
F in the chat.
With all the endings completed and my gallery at 92%, I can finally say that Mario the Music Box is over, and god damn what a roller coaster that was. This video script is already 20-something pages long. That is a long-ass script, let me tell you. If I had to explain my feelings about this game, which I've got a lot of feelings about this game, I'd say they're positive, but like 80% positive. I'm a sucker for this kind of game, and the plot of this game reminds me so much of those classic RPG Maker horror games with a mysterious plot. I don't think the original characters are like crazy deep, but I think they serve their purpose in the story well. Alice's character, while I don't think was deserving of her redemption, was written fairly well. And her relationship with Reba, on top of the curse of the mansion driving her to insanity, was also pretty fun to watch unfold. I don't know if her verbally abusing her child was due to the curse though. Not cool, Alice.
We gotta play hard to understand it for sure, though.
As far as original characters go, they're pretty alright, and as far as Mario and Luigi go, they're alright as well. Now, they're very much both the straight man, reacting to the chaos and horror of the mansion and the situations around them, and I think that works well. I mean, Mario's known for being happy-go-lucky.
Damn, sorry that came out.
That's
Bro,
really it.
sorry that came out. Bro's hips are huge.
Weird, so I'm glad this game gives a little bit of a different take on this character. It's nothing groundbreaking, but there's not a whole lot you can really do for this character to make him work perfectly in this situation, you know? The gameplay was alright. I mean, it's very puzzle and exploration focused, like most RPG Maker horror games. I don't really have a whole lot to say about it, and honestly, I was way more invested in the story anyways. Speaking of the story, I thought that was pretty good too. Watching fucking Super Mario go on this crazy haunted mansion, get possessed, meet the worst human being on planet Earth, and basically having his whole world shattered was fun as hell. One thing I will say is that the dialogue felt kind of generic or stilted at times. It wasn't too frequent, but it was enough where I kind of noticed it. One thing that was fantastic though was the art style. It adapts the Mario Bros in an anime art style perfectly. It makes them not feel too out of place next to regular people, and of course the crazy bloody death scenes are drawn pretty well too. I don't know how many more times I could see Mario get bloodshot eyes though, that was not pleasant to see. The music is great too, a lot of these orchestral and mellow songs are present throughout the game. It's crazy to think that all of this was made for a Mario fan game. I know, a game with music.
Hell yeah, you free tonight? God damn it.
cutscenes, dialogue, hell, even the festivals have been changed. And it just
The hell did I
becomes
do,
pure chaos.
Bingus?
I promise
Damn.
you're just gonna need to see how insane this one gets. Name? Eduardo. Yeah, that's a good name. I like it. Yeah, perfect. Farm name, Eduardo. And my favorite thing, Eduardo. Perfect. I'm not skipping the intro because I want to see if Granddad actually says anything to us in the beginning that's translated. I want you to have this sealed envelope. Oh, it's still the exact same. Oh, Granddad hasn't gone through the translator at all. So when does it actually start to become, oh wait, here we go. What is this? Hello? You have to, Eduardo. I've got a Eduardo. Wait, is this when it starts to hit? I am Mark, the local carpenter. I think this is when it starts to get translated. Mark, it's nice to meet you. Cercio's main activity sent me here to show you the way for you and your farm. He is currently selecting his name. Does everyone in the valley get a new name? Do we just get to, like, choose one? I thought his name was Cercio. This is Eduardo Farm, or at least we know that. What does it matter? Oh, God. I ask myself that every night, Mark. Welcome back for me. Mayor Louise. This is symbol of Pelican Town. You probably got that golden statue made already. You know, the one that bothers you. It does. Yeah, you more than bother me, Louise. This is a beautiful home. A country. Am I an independent state? Am I a sovereign citizen? Get out of my country. Country. That said, however, strong skin will be appropriate. What? Polite? What? What are you guys talking about? Don't listen, Eduardo. Oh, good for, you know what? Good for Mark. New pronouns drop and the name change. Good for Mark. I'm proud of him. He just wants to protect your home away from Tulio. So you don't want to buy the latest version. Oh, Mark's pissed. Wherever you go, you will be bored. He must rest. Why is it so ominous? What are these backwater loony country bumpkin people talking about, dude? I'm in cuckoo land, dude. Let's see what we get. Okay, at least they're called parsnip seeds. Finally, I know what they are. In grass, if you build high-low, grass can be... What? In grass, if you build high-low, grass can be cut in half. Okay, I understand. I think parsnips. This plant is very hot. It's just... Let's get these spicy parsnips planted out. Wood. However, a strong body is not important for the different uses of simple industries. What is Karl Marx speaking to us? What the hell are you talking about? I'm excited to see if it happens for like every cutscene or if it's very selective. Because so far it's been very selective on what it seems to translate. Or maybe the translations are just so good that I haven't recognized them. Gus, is Mayor Louise normal? Oh, hello there. By Gus, chef and owner of Star Drop Saloon. By Gus, we trust. Saloon has 2 O's? Wait, so did he change it to a salon? You doing hair now, Gus? Good for you, girly pop. I'm gonna buy some more plants from Pierre's so we can start Eduardo Farm off strong. This plant is very hot. It takes 12 days to give birth. Am I gonna have some baby cauliflower running around? I'm not sure I'm ready to be a father. Should we marry Abigail on this farm? Abigail, come here. Let me talk to you. Oh, the right to enter. I don't have any right to enter. I just broke into here. Technically, I'm trespassing. There is shame. The heights of the forest. The regions should be condemned to me and will be discovered forever. She planning on taking over the valley? Is that what you're talking about? Good for you. We can do that. Hello. You have 2 Eduardo, new farmer. This is Mark. Another one? Are you and formerly known as Robin twins? Why would twins have the same name? He is a man with a lilac head. Who is a man with a lilac head? What are you guys talking about? I just want to, you know what, I'm going back to my farm. I can't handle this kooky nonsense. In 12 days, Eduardo will be a father. What if we go to the cooking channel? Here, everyone can identify the new corn. Why does everything sound so cult-like?
Hi, Cuddly.
New corn, lilac head, everyone changing their name to Mark. Louise, saying that he's the symbol of the town. It kind of just sounds like they're a part of a cult. While looking for wheat production, they will hit some of the wild animals for money. Oh, okay, I gotta go beat up some sheep on it. Pam! Oh, Pam! Hello. A child named Pam. A child? Are you the child? Am I the child? Maybe Pam christened me with her name. Search. Search for what? A child named Pam? What? What are you doing? Please. you see this? Oh, he's desperate. He's desperate. He's like, look at this rock I found. Who knows? We will face some issues that need to be addressed again. I'm facing a lot of issues in town. Like, why do you guys all talk like this? If you choose to stop leading before the game. What? If you choose to stop leading before the game, what? Was there more to that? No one seems ready to give you a small body. Are you hitting on me? Are you guys storing human remains somewhere? I don't know if I'm going to donate to the museum again. I guess we can check the journal to see what we need to actually do. Oh, Gunther asked if he would consider donating a new palace. What? Gunther asked if he would consider donating a new palace or minerals to the museum. He said it was not a good way to restore extraordinary opportunities. Well, what the hell am I doing it for then? I'm fine, just give me the money. Okay, introductions. Promoting music in the city is a good sign for him. Who's him? Who are we worshipping out here? Who is him? Do you mind, child? I was kind of explaining things. Your Excellency, my name is Vincent. Your Excellency. Oh my god, the kids in the cult have been told to respect their elders. I think more people need to call me Your Excellency. Yeah, know your place, Vince. Hello, random wandering child. It's so scary. Alright, they got to Jas already. The lobotomy's gone through. Oh, a letter. Hello, yes. I just came back from a fishing trip. If you reach the sand for a short time, I have something. William. Oh, it's like he's sending me on a quest. Well, I guess we need to go see William on the sands of time. Gotta make sure my babies are well watered first, though. Yes, my babies. Sleep. Sleep. In 11 days, you will be born into this world. Hello, Your Excellency, William. Hello, how are you? Hello, my child? What is the second person to call me a child? Father? I'm trying to relax and get out of the ROC. Gotta read that correctly. Had to read that word correctly. Oh, I almost read that wrong. I finally saved enough money to buy my stick.
Must have
He's a stick man.
inherited Frenzy's hips, cause Jesus. Yes.
I should have called him father beforehand. This is rabbits. Or fish. If it smells good, it sells. Haha. Anyway, at least I didn't go down without explaining myself first. That's a bit forward, Willie. What was that? I need to test out William's rod before we go and talk to everyone else. What did we get? A herring, sea fish, very descriptive. Wait, hello, baby girl. What's up? Hey, gorgeous. If not for the horrible bad deeds, the release of good clothes will be. Hello here. I am Demetrius, an expert, a local pope. Pause. Demetrius, are you the religious leader of this cult? Maybe like Louise is the symbol, the god, and Demetrius is the pope? 10 more days, my beautifuls. 10 more days. Penny, I think everyone in this town's gone a little bit insane. Hey, have you talked to any of them? Hello, hello. I am Copper. Penny, Copper. That's kind of funny. Yeah, I can see how that one actually happened. Are you gonna freak out if I give this to you and say, it's a piece of you? Oh, is this me? It is. I told you, it's a piece of you. Welcome to Living Off the Land. We're back again with another tip for y'all. This is your place. Look at the onion and meet the ocean south of the city. Sometimes you'll find a lot of things add to the lore. Gotta find my onion. I found the onions down south. What do you know of the lore? Lewis, I found the onions. The land of the lore will change. We did it. I found them. Okay. I think this is considered legitimate. Did Eduardo do it? Maybe Demetrius will like them. What is this? I might be killed. My parsnips have grown. Sweet potato carrots. I mean, you're correct. That's pretty much what parsnips are, aren't they? Oh, we got a Jojimart letter. Based on the performance of conventional technology, members of our team have removed the vibrations from the lakes of our mountain country. You've done what? You've taken away the vibrations from the lake of our mountain country? But the vibrations just getting too much? Linus is not going to like that. Good environmental management is what we put our God first. Is it like a rival cult? We are very sorry for any inconvenience. He did not do it. He didn't do what? That's so nefarious. Yo! What's up, Louise? What a miracle. Chaos. These days as a child, sitting in front of God, themselves, wielding a sword. They're turning the children into child soldiers in the name of God. The Pelicans can send money, but some things have stopped selling out. Is this what the cult is called? The cult of the Pelican? I continue to sell movies. Well, what? Is this a blockbuster? You want me to save the local blockbuster? That's crazy! He's really excited about the movies. I don't want to coincide this old blockbuster with Louise. What does it matter? You are sick. Oh no, now the gaslighting begins. Hey, did you know about these vibrating lakes? Please don't cut me. Has someone been shanking Linus? Sometimes I completely forget about time. Oh, she's just like me for real. You know what, girlie? Have a quartz. Hey, because I'm hungry? Looks good. Oh, she alright, she pretty much just has the same dialogue when you give her something she wants to eat. Oh, Harvey's cutscene. That's right, George. I want you to breathe well. I'm sure Evelyn doesn't. I'm a Dr. George. That's me. I went to school to learn how to help people reach the age of 8. If you can get to 8 years old, bam, you're doing well. In fact, you're off to the mines. This has literally just turned into me meeting all the villagers. Ew. Damn, okay. The worst she can say is no, right? The information is not done by checking our day with 24 carats equal to carrots. Hello? What am I meant to do with that? Was that a quest? Who was that from? Alright, so we have to kill 10 slime in the name of God. Easy, I can do that. And we have to meet the wizard. I received a letter from the local director. Wait, is he directing Lewis's films? Things in a pot cooked in the forest are gone. Finger in this. What? I'm sorry, I haven't heard of that mushroom. Is that why Lewis was moaning? Oh yeah, I would be sick if that's the ingredients he put in too. What is that? What does that mean? What does that mean? He lives in the light. That's ominous. What light? That light? Do you see things in your fire pit? Who is he? Oh, the holiday eggs. We could go to the holiday eggs festival and do some egg holidays. I learned art. Fires. Yay, we can commit arson now. Hi, Pierre. Moaning, I'm behind the sheep. What are you doing to that sheep, Pierre? Why do these old men keep moaning? Remind me not to tell Pierre that I have goats on my farm. I threw a stone at my house last night. Wait. Why would you do that? That's not your job. That's my job. Haley and Emily are fighting. You're so stupid, Haley. Oh, God. Oh, this just made them way more aggressive. She cries. Oh, this has been building up a lot for Emily. She's in tears. Hi, Linus. Humor, are you coming to where I am? Why is everything that Linus says in this mod just so depressing? The holiday eggs has begun in the town square. I love the holiday eggs. He spent a lot of time preparing chicken feeds for us. Who is he? Are we celebrating some sort of god that I don't know about? Haha, give me a nice hug. Oh, don't mind if I do. Oh, you know what? This might be one of my favorite mods. What does everyone enjoy?
We thank Frenzy for having beautiful hips today in the Church of Church of Z. What the fuck?
I knew it, director, blockbuster. This is a secret film.
I'm sure you'll be able to one day, Bixby.
What's going on? What did I have last night? Or younger, more bland. The best secret is to highlight a simple secret. Can people in this town please stop speaking in riddles and just tell me, what are we worshipping in this cult? I'll join. I'm happy to sell my soul. Our end is coming to an end. What?
We have sermons, pray, Mugman's jugs, Frenzy's hips, Cuphead's biceps, Boris's back muscles, Betty's wings. Damn. Okay.
I know it would be very dangerous if it was armed. You gotta look out for those cave with
The day I can commission Z, it's over.
Let's get out of here, Eduardo.
Oh, I can guarantee that. And the worst part is, I actually put a lot of effort into my commission, so, yeah.
you believe my parents were always young? Please don't talk about your parents in this moment. Well, that was an exciting night with Abigail. I wish I didn't have to picture her parents during it, but that's fine. Look! Our babies have been birthed from the ground. My children, come to me. Be birthed into your father's hands. I'm gonna sell my cauliflower children. Goodbye, children. Have a good future somewhere, wherever you are. I think they're gonna be eaten. Hello, how are you? I hope you love and send gifts. Hello, Emily. That's just how Emily writes base game too. I hope he does. What are your wishes? Is she speaking to him? This is the spirit called the board of directors. Is that what it is? It's the board of directors. It's just the corporate overlords. That's who they were going after. Did Outlook Mobile exist? I'm here to reach you about your mobile plan. She's threatening me now. Kind of like it. I have something to do. Be patient. You have to go. I think she kicked me out. Dear Eduardo, it all ends in a flower. Because then, go. Tomorrow, if you can't find your boyfriend who is willing to dance, the Western Forest is our defensive city. The city of dance. If you want it,
Hi, lovely.
between 9 a.m.
Oh.
and 2 p.m. Nay, Cicero. What? Is this the... Fuck.
Me sincero. Me sincero.
Grand scheme of things, that actually doesn't really matter. 0 people could be... Okay, so as I sort of mentioned before, today we're going to be specifically honing in on one channel doing this type of content. There are other channels that do very
No story time,
similar content
unfortunately.
that
Yes,
also
everyone.
deserve
What the?
criticism. This isn't
What the
every
hell is
example.
going on? Oh my
However,
god.
I think this one example best encompasses the issue and the problems with this style of content. So, who's the lucky loser tonight? Well, the channel I want to talk about today is PKR Show, which is arguably the biggest channel doing this type of scrunky content and have without a doubt helped spread this shit to other corners of the internet. One scroll through their channel should pretty much explain everything about the type of videos they make. I mean, you don't need to be a fucking rocket scientist to figure out what's going on here. However, PKR Show wasn't actually always like this. In fact, they started their channel
Hi,
doing a
Hazbin of Dial.
completely different type of content. Hey, anyone in the audience want to buy life insurance? That's right. The earliest uploads to the PKR Show channel have nothing to do with inflation, pregnancy, farts, bondage, and whatever is going on here. Nope, they have everything to do with buying a life insurance in different countries around the world. The very first video uploaded to the channel, Life Insurance in the USA, Life Insurance in the United States of America, is literally just a video where some guy opens up a Google Doc on their phone for less than 2 minutes and just reads the random-ass life insurance jargon that they wrote up. Or maybe AI wrote it, who fucking knows? The thumbnails are all AI, so I wouldn't put it past them. Anyway, eventually they upped the production quality on these videos to be recordings of PowerPoint presentations instead of Google documents. But the actual contents of these videos are pretty much the exact same for all of them. Eventually the narrator switches to a more feminine voice, so you can maybe assume there's multiple people working on this operation, if you can even call it that. But I mean, yeah. Who gives a shit about the contents of these videos? You're not subscribed to me for life insurance content. Unless you are. You should probably go if you are. Speaking of subscribing, you should probably do that because we're trying to reach 20 million of them things. So, you know, any help counts. There are still a few more interesting things to note about these old life insurance videos that actually have nothing to do with the information they provide. For example, the description on their video about applying for life insurance in Germany is very peculiar. The other descriptions on these videos have some kind of generic, probably AI-generated blurb about the video topic, along with a disclaimer stating that the videos are for educational purposes. However, the Germany description is literally a copy-pasted template for writing a video description. Welcome to your channel name. In today's video,
we're diving into main topic or activity of the video. Whether you're briefly mention who the video is for or why it's useful, this video is packed with key content or feature. We'll cover, highlight 2 to 3 key points or segments, offering insights, tips, and any additional benefits viewers will gain. Like, come on, guys, what are we doing here? What is this fucking description? Even the hashtags on this video are from the template. We have hits such as hashtag your channel name and hashtag related keywords. Oh yeah, baby, we are bringing in the big bucks with these hashtags. I might have to use them myself, actually. Check the description to see if I did. If I didn't, feel free to yell me in the comments for ignoring this top-tier YouTube optimization trick. Anyway, jokes aside, I bring all of this shit up not only to show you where this channel started, but to also make it clear that this channel was not any kind of professional operation at all. This is very unprofessional, unrefined content, which makes their transition into this all the more confusing. The final insurance video uploaded to the channel, Car Insurance in Australia, was uploaded on September 3rd, 2024. And after that, the channel went without uploads for 3 whole months. This silence would then be broken by the all-time classic Incredibox Sprunky Sinner Edition, but with new mod, all reactions. This was uploaded on November 30th, 2024, and I'm sure all 4 people subscribed to the channel for genuine insurance information were very fucking confused seeing this pop up in their sub box. From that point onward, PKR Show became the channel it is now, pumping out fetish video after fetish video after fetish video. The sudden turn to this style of content is so confusing on so many levels, especially considering the lack of care regarding appealing to the YouTube algorithm present in all of their videos before this one. This then opens up a different can of worms. Was this channel always PKR Show? The switch in content is so jarring that maybe it wasn't a switch in content at all, and instead, this channel was actually hacked, gutted from the inside, and turned into this by someone else completely unrelated to the original channel owners. Now, this is all just a theory, because I truly don't have any sort of smoking gun evidence that this channel was 100% hacked, at least not right now. However, I do have evidence that PKR Show wasn't always the name of this channel. In the award-winning video, Life Insurance Process, How to Obtain Life Insurance, the narrator starts the video by mentioning that the name of the channel is Life Insurance with KU. Now, sure,
There you go.
you could argue that they just changed the name of the channel when they switched content types, but this mixed with everything else, and the fact that the channel itself is just run very differently now, down to how the descriptions are written, it definitely opens up the possibility of a hack taking place. I guess the main question from there is, why? It's not like PKR
What
Show
the
adopted
hell,
an audience of
Bingus?
people who would be into this type of content. They probably adopted almost nobody, actually. Maybe there's some logic behind it, like trying to ban evade or something, but even then, I can't even fathom why all these old life insurance videos are still up anyway, hacked or not. It all just seems so weird. But with that aside, that's pretty much everything regarding the early stages of this channel. A lot of weird shit, but somehow, it only gets weirder. Actually, given the main topic on display here, it's not really that unbelievable that things get weirder. Alright, this is what you've probably been waiting for. I know we had so much fun talking about insurance, but this is what you came for. I know the actual videos on this channel look super interesting to talk about right now, but I actually want to start off by bringing up PKR Show's channel description. The actual main meat of the description is just weird. Pretty much just stating what programs are used to make these videos they upload, just in the most awkward way possible. The real interesting thing here is actually hidden in the copyright disclaimer, where it states, it takes about 6 hours to create these videos so that my viewers can feel the difference between the original video and the video I created. What an odd thing to feature in a channel bio, right? Like, have you ever seen anyone put how long it takes them to make their videos in their bio, unless they barely upload or something? The bottom part of the description is also written as if this was a reaction channel, which is even more confusing. It's almost like these are all different parts of different descriptions all Frankenstein together or something. I don't even know, man. The channel banner is also very strange. Like, who is this man? Is this the PKR show? Is this the guy? He's in none of the videos. He literally just exists in this very unfitting banner. I don't know. I don't think we're solving that mystery, though. I've noticed a lot of these content farm channels love using the community tab for useless polls and shit. And PKR show is no different. Time for a quiz! Who will you save? Yeah, is neither an option? Can I just go? But yes, enough beating around the bush. The actual videos. I really don't have that much to say about these because, well, what you see here is what you get. But I'll try my best to say a few things. Let's play a little game to start off here. I'm gonna show you the first frame of one of PKR Show's most viewed videos. 22 million views to be exact. Alright, take a good look at it. I want you to guess what is going to happen within the first 30 seconds of this video. Pretend this is one of those stupid YouTube shorts and lock in your answer by hitting the like button. Alright, you got an idea? Let's reveal what actually happens. The pink sprunky known as Pinky grows boobs, an ass, and then
I'm
the
concerned
orange one
watching
located
the
right beside
video.
her
I'm
ties
just
her up in
here.
bondage rope and starts tugging at her. For kids, by the way, this is targeted at kids. Other great highlights of this video include the yellow one getting the green one pregnant and giving birth, the gray one getting the white one pregnant and giving birth, again, and mind you, both of these situations involve one of the sprunkies holding a condom? Like, what are we even trying to say here? What is the birth control failure rate in the sprunky world? There's some other gross-ass stuff in this video and all the other videos, as you may be able to guess, but I mean, you get the picture. We really don't have to talk about this anymore. Every single one of these videos is like this, just with different fetishes thrown in every time. Literally, just look at the thumbnails on this fucking channel. It really says more than I ever could with words. These videos are undoubtedly targeting and being watched by children. There is not a doubt in my mind that that is the case. The amount of views these videos have really says it all. If this was just some niche thing that only adults were watching, which would still be weird given the subject matter, these view counts would not be this high. 22 million adults didn't watch that video. That's for damn sure. Yet, even though this is clearly an issue, YouTube rarely does anything about these channels. I've had to talk about these bad actors multiple times at this point, and I really don't see it slowing down anytime soon. When these videos are bringing in this many views to the platform, why should YouTube even care? It's absolutely wrong, but that's just the truth of the matter, unfortunately. But, okay, maybe you're really stubborn and think that my arguments are weak for whatever reason. Let's say you genuinely believe that this is for adults, and adults are the main demographic watching this content. Would you then care to explain why PKR Show is advertising a fucking Roblox game?
Everyone has been asking for a link to the Sprunky game, so I finally released
Oh, been a while since I drew Frenzy. It's great to draw you again, buddy.
All over their channel, in the description of many videos and the community tab, PKR Show advertises a Roblox game called Escape the Sprunky Oven. Now, I think this is supposed to be framed as PKR's Roblox game, as in they made it, but I really do not think that is the case. Not only are they not mentioned anywhere in the description of the game, but the actual Roblox dev team that created the game, Dadline Studios, is very clearly not PKR, given that the YouTube channel attached to the Roblox page is actually a completely different content farm channel with over 1 million subscribers. I think it is very likely, but not confirmed, that the people who made this game just paid PKR to shill the game and pretend like it was their own Roblox game to get more players on it. Thankfully, this shit did not work at all. When I played the game for myself, it had 0 other players online. It was just me. Doesn't seem like a one-time thing either. This game seems pretty consistently dead. Regardless if PKR did help make this game, or if they were just paid to promote it, the main point here stands. PKR Show is very clearly aimed at children, and the promotion of a Roblox game really just cements that. And like, don't get me wrong, it's the big 25. Roblox is definitely not just for kids these days. I think most people have realized that, given the amount of really awesome games on it. However, this very specific kind of game being shilled here is a
Damn, Frenzy been using that black eyeshadow lately.
I mean, just
Bye,
look at
Nate.
it. The actual game itself is super generic and boring, if you are wondering. Don't even play this ironically, it's not even worth it. Anyway, believe it or not, there's even more shit to go over here. So let's move past the Roblox games and the wholesome, family-friendly content we were talking about earlier, and move forward. Something I purposefully didn't mention when I was talking about PKR Show's channel is the other channel he has links to. Just under his username is a piece of the description saying, "Watch my new videos," with a link to a different channel called Little Lion Meow. Now, PKR Show has actually been inactive for about a month at the time I'm writing this video. However, this other channel is still uploading videos on a somewhat consistent basis. Their About section reads, "I'm a little lion cub who is about to become the king of YouTube, but for now, he's making reactions to cool videos. Subscribe and Little Lion Cub will become the Lion King." Okay, sure, man. Unlike PKR Show, this channel actually isn't lying about making reaction videos, as they have multiple videos on their channel where a really scary-looking doughy model reacts to random bullshit, and these videos are priceless.
Hello, friends. Let's watch a video about Poppy Platine. Oh my god, he had thongs. How awkward he was. He's become very cool and strong, so he's yellow.
Cuphead and Bendy needs to move. Never let your boyfriend stop you from finding your true love, Frenzy.
I don't have anything to say about it. What I'm actually interested in bringing up here is this actually PKR Show's alt? The content here is completely different, but the way this channel is structured is pretty much the exact same. The same Roblox games being advertised in the description of the Sprunky video, and the doughy reaction videos that even have the stupid thing where mentions how long it takes to make the videos, just like over on PKR Show. The even weirder thing about all
I still can't believe y'all are so down bad for her. I'm like, holy shit, didn't think I was, like, Jesus, damn. I didn't think I would make a character this fine, I guess.
With AI-generated images of women for the thumbnails. If this channel
Hold on, I want to draw more Frenzy, buddy. I miss my girl. I haven't drawn Frenzy in a while. Oh my god.
Because I really doubt the same
Frenzy bent over real quick. He just snaps at the end.
Maybe this is an even bigger operation, hacking random channels and turning them into content farms for children. But who really knows? Little Lion Meow is nowhere near as successful as the main channel though. So thankfully there's that. We don't need two of these powerhouses running around owned by the same people. Although, this makes me wonder why PKR Show has been inactive for so long, while this other channel is still getting videos. Very odd. Anyway, we're pretty much done here. But there's one final thing we need to talk about before we wrap this up for good. The Patreon. Because this shit just had to get worse, PKR Show has links to an 18+ Patreon in the description of some of their videos. First of all, before we get to the actual contents of the Patreon page, fuck you. No, seriously, fuck you. You can't just put 18+ in the description of this shit when you're advertising on videos that are mainly being watched by children. I know this is just to cover your ass, but you're not slick. It's so insanely easy to see what's going on. Fuck you. Anyway, somehow, this isn't the first one of these content farm channels to have an NSFW Patreon. If you remember, I actually talked about one of them in the Digital Circus video from 2023. The fact that this is somehow an actual strategy that multiple of these channels have just used is sick. The silver lining on all of this, though, is that barely anybody is subscribed to this Patreon. But in the grand scheme of things, that actually
What's your question,
really
Galaxy?
matter. 0 people could be subscribed to this, and the fact that PKR Show is still advertising it on the videos he's advertising it on is wrong. As for the actual content on display here, I don't know. I'm not giving this fucker money. Not even for a video. Just by going off of the descriptions of the locked posts, though, I'm sure I'm not missing out on much. Like, yeah, I can guess what sex in the locker room consists of. Wait a minute. This Patreon post was made in November of 2023? Before Sprunky came out? What the fuck? That's right. A quick scroll down the locked Patreon post will reveal that this whole thing goes even deeper than I thought originally. There are a ton of posts from 2023 all about Skibbity Toilet, meaning that there are definitely other channels out there being run by these people. I also personally think that this is a silver bullet regarding the whole hacking theory, because I refuse to believe that the same people who were making skibbity toilet porn a year ago went on to make multiple videos about life insurance and EDM music. It just makes no sense unless you consider the hacking theory. But I guess we'll never truly know, you know, for legal reasons. That's my life insurance, alright? I gotta cover my ass. Anyway, we're done here. Let's wrap this up. I really don't think YouTube is going to take channels like PKR Show as a serious threat anytime soon, but it's still important to raise awareness about shit like this. I highly doubt I have many current parents watching me, but for them and any future parents in the audience, please, for the love of God, keep an eye on what your kid is watching. PKR Show is just one example of many channels just like that, Sprunky related or not. Every time something gets popular with a younger audience, it unfortunately just has a really good chance of being turned into a pipeline for fetish content. But hopefully, one day, we'll get stricter rules about stuff like this. Anyway, I think this is a good place to end things. Thank you all so much for watching, and stay safe. I've been Yeah, and I'll see you all next time.
I have heard of it, but I've never played it. Mostly because it's way too fucking big. That's what she said.
Well, I never thought this day would come. A YouTuber just made an apology video worse than Sienna May's iconic interpretive dance. For those that don't remember, Sienna May was a TikToker accused of sexual assault, and for some reason she marched into the mines of Mordor and hatched the most diabolical plan of all time, forged the worst video apology ever, where it was an interpretive dance apology. So she starts fucking boogieing out there, doing some of this, a little bit of these. And by God, I'm ashamed to say it, but she even did some of this. Just kind of downplaying the entire situation. And keep in mind, it was sexual assault accusations that also had a video as well. So there was a ton of evidence, and she still just tried to do like an apology interpretive dance. I did not think there would ever come a time that someone makes a worse response than that, but whoo-wee, how wrong I was.
Ayola. Ayola.
That bleeding in your ears is normal. This is a ukulele apology video. She's turned her accusations and her response into a Disney musical number here, I suppose. She's got a whole little Broadway moment here to sing and talk about it. Now, before getting into it, let me give some context on what she's apologizing for. Colleen Ballinger is most known for her Miranda Sings character. If you've been on YouTube for a long time, you've definitely heard that name before. She was a massive superstar on the platform. She even had her own Netflix show. And recently, another YouTuber named Adam McIntyre has really started to spearhead this information about her past and everything that's happened to them, as well as the group chat that she used to have with a lot of her fans that were minors, and the way she conducted herself. She's been accused of like asking for ass pics from her fans, and again, most of these fans were minors at the time. She'd even send really weird videos to them. It's just, there's been a ton of evidence of very unacceptable shit, so she's been accused of like grooming as well as being a predator, and this video that she made is her response to those very serious allegations.
All aboard the toxic gossip train.
As long as you guys continue to pay attention to the stream, I don't see the problem of you guys yapping about the thing, about your OCs.
We got a one-way ticket to manipulation station.
Nah, she's giving us a one-way ticket to defecation station, because this is some shit here. I don't know how she thought this was a good idea at all. She doesn't even disprove any of the allegations. She just calls it the toxic gossip train, like it's some kind of little musical number out of Magic School Bus or something that she's not taking seriously. in the face of very serious claims, she decides to put on the entire clown outfit and grab her trusty ukulele and go to battle. But it's not really a battle because she doesn't even really tackle any of the claims. She doesn't refute anything or defend herself. She just makes a song.
Toxic gossip train, tie me to the tracks and harassing for my past. These rumors look like facts. If you don't mind the gaps, I won't survive in the crash, but hey.
I'm sorry to keep pausing this so frequently, I just have so much to say, and trust me, I'm really doing you a favor with all of these breaks here to give you a brief, like, respite from the fucking unbelievable cringe. Like, this is some pure, undiluted, unhinged delusion here. This is so strong, I feel like it needs to be added to the periodic table, like the element of delusion that she is displaying here. Like, this song is fucking haunted, honestly. This is like that track out of Courage the Cowardly Dog with Velvet Vic, where, like, sucks you into the record player. That's this song, but it sucks you into a group chat where she's, like, asking about your first period and asking for ass pics or something. But the reason I'm pausing it here is because this is something she falls back on a lot in the song, and I don't want to just keep playing too much of the song. She seems to think that a lot of people are taking pleasure in watching all of this and says, like, oh, it's all untrue, but you're just doing it because it's entertaining and you're having fun. I've never fully understood that perspective because I imagine most people don't have fun learning that people they grew up watching or people they were at least aware of being a big influence turned out to be absolute fucking scumbags. Groomers, predators, all these horrible things. Like, no one has fun with accusations like that, I don't think. Certainly not the victims of it. The victims of Miranda Sings, Colleen Ballinger here, definitely aren't having any fun here. This has been mentally damaging shit that they've carried for a long time. Now, I do think there is an argument to be made about, like, YouTuber apologies as
That's
entertainment.
awesome,
I made a
Kyra.
whole
That's
fucking tier
awesome
list
to
on it.
hear,
There is an
honestly.
element of fun to watching a completely disconnected from reality weirdo do something like Miranda Sings has done with this fucking singing apology. It's hard not to point and laugh at the absolute insanity of that situation. But in those cases, no one's laughing about the actual allegations. Nobody wants someone in a position of power like Miranda Sings, Colleen Ballinger, to turn out to be a groomer or a predator.
Everyone, I've been wanting to come online and talk to you about things. You know, my team has strongly advised me to not say what I want to say. I recently realized that they never said that I could sing.
Holy shit, she's done it. She's activating 100% of her brain. What an incredible loophole. Checkmate, lawyers. Her legal team must have been there like, no! She got us. How did we not think
Hi,
of that?
Augie.
We never said she couldn't sing it. Damn, she's good.
Many years ago, I used to message my fans, but not in a creepy way like a lot of you are trying to suggest. It was more of a loser kind of way. I was just trying to be besties with everyone who was there. There were times in the DMs when I would overshare details of my life, which was really weird of me. I haven't done that for years, you see, because I changed my behavior. Let's go on a toxic gossip train.
If you have anything to refute the claims, why don't you present it instead of doing your little talent show ukulele act? She's saying that this video, in the beginning of the song, she's saying that she's only going to be talking about the facts, and then provides nothing. The facts must have been out of town during the filming of this because she does not present them at all. She doesn't provide anything to refute any of the claims. All she does is say, like, no, that's all wrong. Those aren't the
Cuphead,
facts.
move out of the
You guys are falling for
way.
the toxic gossip train, misinformation, super duper, the station, whatever. Like, she doesn't actually provide any evidence, any counterpoints, nothing. All she does is just say that it's a lie. That's it. And I guess you're supposed to take her at her word because she's singing it? Like, it doesn't make any sense. This is just invalidating to all of her victims. Like, she is, like, actually, like, laughing in their face with this video, I feel. It's pretty disgusting, actually. I don't understand how she thought this could possibly be perceived in any meaningful, positive way. Because, again, she doesn't defend herself. She doesn't refute any of the claims of all of, like, the grooming accusations. If she thinks that all of this is overblown or incorrect, why wouldn't she come forward with her evidence to support that and say, like, nope, this is where all of this is wrong, this is where it's false, this is where you've been lied to and manipulated. She doesn't do that. All she has here is this dumb little fucking song. I just can't even wrap my head around the thought process.
In all seriousness, I do think it's really important to hold people accountable for their mistakes. I should hope that everyone can learn from their mistakes and grow and change their behavior and be a better person. This is something that I've always tried to do when I make mistakes. It's something that I will continue to try to do forever. Thought you wanted me to take accountability. That's not the point of your mob mentality, is it? No. Your goal is to ruin the life of the person you despise while you dramatize your lies and monetize their demise.
Once again, this is just like shitting on the victims that have come forward. There are tons and tons of messages as well as videos, like just an overwhelming amount of evidence that's all pretty damning on Colleen Ballinger's behavior from these group chats, as well as just a lot of other things over the years. And in the song, she just reduces that to, I was just a weird loser sending cringe. It was just a goofball doing loser weird stuff. And then still has the audacity to sing about how she's taking accountability? What the fuck? That's the opposite of accountability. You're minimizing, downplaying the very real harm you cause to your underage fans through these group chats, these interactions, and all the shit that you said and sent. That's not taking accountability. You are literally doing the exact opposite by saying, like, it's really not that big of a deal, just kind of weird, that's all. And then she goes in to just say about, like, this is just directly shitting on the victims. She goes then into the next part saying that the reason there's a mob mentality is because they're coming forward with all of these lies to monetize her demise because they don't like her. Well, Colleen Ballinger, let's supersize the McDonald's fries here. You're fucking insane. What are you talking about? How could you even, like, actually put this out there? I don't know how she could not only write this song, perform this song, and this is definitely not her first take, so go through this song multiple times, edit it, and then post this without realizing just how, I don't even know the right word, it's like almost downright evil she comes across. Because again, this is like spitting in the face of all the victims that have come forward with a ton of evidence against her, saying it's not a big deal, they're wrong, they're just doing it for clout. It's so sickening.
I feel like I already hear the comments on this video. She's gaslighting, manipulating. Oh, she's a narcissist and a rat. I would never make a mistake. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that all of you are perfect, so please criticize me. Bring out the daggers me from your perfect past and stab me repeatedly.
This is gonna come as a surprise. This is gonna be shocking.
One
yeah,
chance, please. Oh Jesus, chill. Yo, chill.
That everyone makes in their
No
life.
problem,
Most
Bixby. I don't know why you're
normal
thinking
people
me.
are going to go through
Cuphead,
the
that
life
table
that
bar it
everyone
away.
is supposed to be accused of doing. Talking sexually with minors in a group chat, sending used underwear to kids. The list goes on, and she beats this point home about like how she's just made like a little mistake here, and it doesn't make her a bad person. But this is, again, one of those mistakes that, like, actually does make you a bad person. This isn't, like, a little mistake. Like, she makes it sound like, oh, you don't have the right to criticize me because you're not perfect, your past isn't perfect. But most people's past isn't exactly one that's plagued by degeneracy like this. So, no one's perfect, of course, but that doesn't mean that people don't have the right to criticize you for just how ridiculously awful the shit that you are accused of doing is, and also how terrible this response is.
I'm sure you're disappointed in my shitty little song. I know you wanted me to say that I was 100% in the wrong. Well, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna take that route of admitting to lies and rumors that you
Once again, just hawking a big fat loogie in the face of every victim that came forward here. If these are all lies and just rumors, why don't you prove your side of it? Why don't you provide any evidence beyond just a song that says things without showing things or proving things? There is nothing presented here that refutes a single claim at all. She's just singing things, and that's it. That's not evidence. The video and song goes on for like another 4 or 5 minutes, but she just keeps saying the same thing about how it's all lies and manipulation.
What's Francie's
Why wouldn't you
favorite
want
dog,
to, like,
albeit
actually
for
do
her?
that? I
What
don't know
the
what she thought this song would do. It doesn't offer any kind of explanation for anything to clear up what she's
We can
calling
bark,
lies and
Francie,
rumors.
please. You can
It's
claw us.
There is mountains of like actual
Oh my
messages
god.
and videos of
There we
her
go. There's the chat
engaging in
that I
very,
know and remember
very
and
bad
love.
behavior,
God
very
damn, you
awful
guys.
things, which has led to people labeling her things like a groomer and a predator, which she really doesn't like. But that's what all of these documents lead towards, point towards, and she does nothing to refute any of it except make this absolutely embarrassing song out of it. It's baffling. I couldn't believe this shit today. So yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna play the rest of the video because she just keeps saying it's all lies, it's just rumors, it's ridiculous, I can't believe you guys fell for it. But doesn't provide any kind of actual counterpoints or evidence or anything, so it's fucking useless. This is, I do think, the new worst YouTuber apology video, and that's not an easy feat to have accomplished. So that's wild. That's really about it. So yeah.
On this channel, I've been playing through every single PETA game, and today I'm going to complete the list of playing every single PETA game that's still available.
Do you favor
With the
flash
one
us?
exception being this racist
Oh my
choose your
god.
own adventure game. That game isn't available to be played anymore, but I did find footage of the entire game so we can react to it just the same. In my next PETA video, I will be looking at the final PETA games that have been lost to time. Therefore, I will have reviewed every single PETA game that has ever been made. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that. But for now, let's get on with these terrible games. Revenge of the PETA Tomatoes. The instructions explain that you need to throw a tomato on all of the fur wearers by clicking on them. Get 9 points and you move on. But if you hit a kid or animal, you lose points. You click play and then you have the luxury of choosing your tomato torpedo. With characters this good and creative, I'm not sure how I'm gonna choose. Naturally, I went with beefsteak. The game then starts and what the hell? This picture never fails to make me laugh. Why does this kid look so freaking weird? I'm pretty sure the top of his head has been relaced and maybe something else is going on too, I can't tell. I'm sorry if I accidentally roasted a kid who actually looks like this. Okay, so I just explained the game to you and you're seeing it. All of these photoshopped people look at least slightly off, and I have no idea what's going on with this city background. I did get 9 points and moved on to level 2. In between levels you get to select a new character, so I chose Apple. Is there a joke here that I'm missing? As far as I can tell, level 2 is the exact same thing. I easily beat it. I then got to choose a new character, and I knew I needed to finish this off with Rainbow Red. Again, I think this last level is the exact same. I never noticed any difficulty spikes or anything like that. There was some questionable hitboxes, but it never worked against me, so I didn't care. And when you beat the game, it says, congratulations. Play again? No. Alright, now it's time for Lobster Liberation. Okay, so you reach the targets. Don't touch the poisonous lobster bushes, polluted water, the gay car, or snakes. I understand the hazard that lobsters must face. Teach me more. I'm sorry, that's just how I read the message sent in all caps. You have 3 lives in the game. Another right, I must help the lobster. It's Frogger. The lobster. I mean, the game is just as fun as Frogger is. The only real negative thing I have to say against the game is it casually put
I got a question for y'all.
Hey, what's up, Arwen? Also, I got a question for y'all. What made y'all simp for Frenzy in the first place? I'm always confused how the fuck you guys got to like her. Like, this much that you want to crack her. Literally.
Which really just calls for some immediate unwinnable situations. So needless to say, once I lost all 3 of my lives on level 2, I stopped playing. I don't like not completing these games for you, but Lobster Liberation just takes so long and it's not necessarily the most forgiving game. By the way, every time you lose a life, you have to wait for these paramedics to take their time slowly rowing to you. I guess they really don't care about that lobster's life after all. I'm honestly just assuming that this game is endless, but it might not be. I looked and I couldn't find anything about an ending online, but to be fair, I didn't find much about this game online to begin with. Contrary to popular belief, I'm not a Frogger connoisseur, so if there's anything that I complained about, that that also lines up with Frogger, consider this an attack on Frogger as well. The next game is Fast Food Nation. Do you want lies with that? I do. This game is a parody of Burger Time. I love Burger Time. It's such an underrated retro game. I think the best way to give you a review on this PETA game is to quickly explain Burger Time. Made in 1982, you play as the chef. The goal is to walk over each piece of the burger until a burger is made at the bottom. Once you make all the burgers, you move on to the next level. You have these dastardly ingredients following you, trying to stop you for whatever reason. You're always a little faster than them, so you just want to avoid getting cornered. The more you play, the more you learn how their AI operates. At a certain point, you can start strategically moving around to manipulate their movements. It is so rewarding to be practically cornered, but then you move in such a way that you now have everyone grouped in a corner behind you, and now the rest of the map just opens wide up. You can also attack with pepper, which stuns enemies in a small area. You do only have a limited amount of pepper, so you have to be careful. Okay, now let's compare that to Fast Food Nation. All of the basics are the same, but somehow the game in 1982 is superior in every single way. The AI feels downright random, and it's always faster than them. There's no outsmarting, there's constant panic in situations that you just can't do anything about, unless the game decides to arbitrarily spare you. The enemies always hit me like a second before I expect them to, which makes me often waste my pepper, or in this case, my spatulas. I did find that there's a glitch where if you die,
Her eyes and her dressing. Frenzy's my ideal woman. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm not even joking. Her ass. Oh my fucking god.
In Burger Time, it's a tool you really need to use strategically to get out of
Oh, well,
many
that's hot.
situations.
Anyway.
In Fast Food Nation, it's a toss-up between that and a death sentence. When you kill an enemy in Fast Food Nation, they immediately respawn, and each enemy always respawns in the same corner. So if you kill an enemy on purpose or not when you're near a corner, there's a 1 in 4 chance it'll instantly kill you. Burger Time was made in a time where graphics were extremely limited, but look how much better this game looks. Take this hot dog's walking animation, for example. He is moving and grooving with a passion. And then you compare it to this pig, and it's just kind of sad. You know a PETA game is really bad when I've been talking about it for so long, but I haven't yet mentioned the fact that it tracks how many E. coli outbreaks were caused by your burgers, how many animals have been killed for your burgers, and how many deaths by heart disease that you've caused. You get this screen after the first level, this one after the second level, and this one after the third level. After level 4, it repeats. I died at level 5 twice in a row, so we'll never know what happens after that. I'm sure we're really missing out. Burger Time is an endless game, and I'm just assuming the same for Fast Food Nation. Just like with Lobster Liberation, I tried to look it up and I never saw anything about an ending. The game over screen says, in a world of fast food, everyone loses. I try to stay away from fast food myself, but that's mostly for health reasons. But at the end of the day, I'm not against going to fast food. There's this thing called moderation that both sides should be able to have.
I feel like a fangirl right now. Frenzy, notice me. Jesus Christ. Next thing you know, you guys are gonna do those things. Be like, Frenzy is only mine. And like, I am Frenzy's like real wife. Like you guys just started posting fucking videos about it. Like those fucking like Sans fangirls. Jesus Christ, man.
I tried to make mine look as much like me as possible.
Eh?
You then get a page of text explaining the game. Basically, you're an animal activist, and you go around freeing animals and educating people by pressing space. At the same time, you're trying to avoid JLo, who's
Oh my
constantly
god.
chasing you
Please,
down.
shut
If you make
up,
her
Discord.
run into a reporter, she'll forget about you for a few seconds. I don't know why they gave her that big of a dump. It seems to me like they're complimenting her here for some reason. Lord forgive me for what I'm about to do. This game isn't even close to a challenge. The hardest part is playing with one hand. No, I mean, the hardest part is when you hit a corner and this happens. By the way, you can easily beat the game without ever bringing JLo to a reporter. I think they really only included this to roast her, saying that she loves the attention. There's only 3 levels, and when you beat the game, it just brings you to the screen. Okay, so I don't know much about JLo at all, so I don't know how much of this hate is really warranted, but I have to hand it to them in some regard. They actually did a good job about teaching you about animals in between levels in an actually normal way. You just have to sit through this to learn about it, so I'm not sure this had the impact that they were hoping for. Alright, let's talk about the last
Hi
game I
guys, it's
actually
me,
played,
Frenzy's
Hitchhike.
number
Hitchhike
one
is
wife. God
one of
damn
the
it,
games that
fuck.
You start by selecting who
I'm
you want to play
Frenzy's
as
wife
from
and
one of
girlfriend
these 3
forever. Nobody can have her. Oh my god, wait, let me see that art, Zev. Show me that art right now. I'm gonna add her to my cardboard cutout section. God damn it, guys. God damn it, guys. Really? She's that fine that you guys are like, yeah, I want a cardboard cutout of Frenzy. Hell yeah.
MMA match, which is annually held at River City University. Based off that, I'm gonna guess that this is a River City ransom parody. You then take a tour of the university, and in a science lab, you see cruelty to animals in progress. I'm glad they had to put that there because I would have no idea otherwise. You then exchange some high-quality dialogue when the game starts. It does turn out to be a River City ransom parody, but it controls terribly. Okay, to start, I really don't like beat-em-ups for the most part, and this is the worst one I have ever played. I couldn't seem to consistently line myself up with enemies, so I ended up giving up pretty quickly. Okay, I know I gave up on a couple PETA games pretty quickly today, but I'm just gonna say it. I have played so much trash in the past month. This is my breaking point. I am done putting up with this. But I was able to find some footage online. When you beat the level, it tells you that you saved one cat from decapitation and one dog from being blinded.
Would Elgas even stay to be... Would Elgas even stay to be taught to be a gentleman? He is a gentleman at heart. He just prefers to rage bait people.
Next level, you're fighting the military that is for some reason in this university. There's more stellar dialogue for you, and then the gameplay seems to be mostly the same.
Shit.
You beat the level, you save more animals, I guess, and then you unlock a wallpaper. You're now in a lab. Here there's more bad dialogue and more of the same gameplay. You then just kind of get teleported into a boxing octagon for no explained reason. There's not even a boss or anything here, just more regular enemies. You're then teleported to a beach with a bunch of animals that probably should not be unchained together. The cheerleader from the start is back. You get a video that I am definitely not watching, and then that's it. Finally, the moment you've all been waiting for, the racist PETA game. Pirates of the Carib, which is an obvious parody of Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm not sure what they did wrong, but I don't care enough to find out. Nugget is the main character, who you may remember as one of the Chick sisters. The plot is that they found out that nuggets were made from chickens. I can't believe Nugget didn't know what his own name meant. So naturally, they learned about the magical golden tofu, which will turn anyone who tastes it into a vegetarian. So they set out to find it. The game starts with a cutscene where the characters all talk about how they want to find the tofu. They then ask these pirates who are sitting right next to them for help finding the tofu. You then get to choose your pirate. Soon after you pick this guy, there's a random PSA about software piracy that's done so poorly.
Software piracy is a real crime against real people across real channels.
The elephant then essentially has an existential crisis, so you can't go on.
How can we go on now that we know there's such evil in the world?
I guess we chose the wrong pirate, so we'll try it again. When you choose this guy, the city is shut down because these things are attacking. I have no idea what this represents. Just to go off the theme of piracy, which I just assumed was supposed to be a pun, I'm guessing these are viruses, but I don't understand the pirate connection here. You then pick the correct pirate and set out to sea. While sailing, the pirate gives a disturbing explanation on animal abuse that goes on when chickens are killed for food. I'm sure no kids were scarred from that. The monkey then mansplains what the pirate literally just said to Nugget, but the Nugget, being the girl boss that she is, interrupts and basically says, "I'm not an idiot, I literally just heard what the pirate said." You then arrive at 3 islands and you have to choose which island to sail to. If you choose Snake City, your ship gets overrun with snakes and Michael Jackson? You really can't make this garbage up.
Get these gosh darn snakes off this gosh darn boat. Sorry, Samuel Jackson is booked.
If you pick Badger Island, your ship gets overrun with badgers who start singing the badger song.
Yes,
I know this
Bingus,
game was
yes.
made a while ago, but this is a very topical reference. So the elephant and monkey just kill themselves? So now you're left with Cannibal Cove as the correct island. On this island, it looks like KFC workers are about to cook some chicks. They legit ignore what they saw and follow a map to the treasure. Great message you're sending, Peter. You then get to the destination and you have to pick a cave to enter. Your choices are Justin Timberlake, Jack Bauer, or Tofu Manchu. If you pick Jack, he just threatens you with, I assume, a line from something you've been in. Justin Timberlake makes a chicken box joke, so now you're left with the racist Tofu Manchu.
Tofu Manchu say, you have total white. Share this golden tofu with the world.
So he gives the tofu to the animals, and then there's a cutscene of all the characters eating vegetables, all because of the golden tofu. All aside from the KFC workers, that is, who, I assume, killed and ate those chicks, there was a perfect opportunity for the characters to come in, give the KFC workers the golden tofu, and save all the chicks. They easily could have had a happy ending, but they just decided not to. This is the end screen, and finally, PETA can check racism off of the problematic things that they have done.
Stop abusing the animal, you motherfucker! I'm just petting her! That's what you get for owning animals, you sick fuck.
Be free, beautiful Siberian kitty cat.
Alright, we have Dento64GD to thank for this video. Everyone get mad at him in the comments. They queued me in on a PETA game that I've never heard of, which is really weird because... Okay, this one's insulting. The mysterious game is called Save Chicks, or Save the Chicks. It appears to have two different titles. I tried looking this game up, but I can't find any footage on it, nor can I even find a screenshot of it on Google Images. However, the funny part is Wikipedia literally has a link to a playable version of this game in the first sentence under the history of PETA games. Don't listen to your teachers when they tell you not to use Wikipedia. Anyway, I guess this game hasn't really been hidden from anyone, but I also might be the first person to upload any footage of it to YouTube.
Dude, I guys get kidnapped. What the fuck?
Played through the Wayback Machine, which is an archival website that lets you access old versions of websites. And lucky for us, the PETA gaming websites have been very well documented. On top of Save Chicks, I found
no, how dare you, Arwen? You just got here.
I can't find any footage of them anywhere. And the worst part is, I can't get either of these games to work. As far as I can tell, these two games are lost to time. As well as explore those 3 PETA games, I'm going to fix some of my past mistakes. In my previous videos, I have incorrectly stated that certain games were lost to time. I actually said that a lot. So what I did was I watched all of my previous PETA videos and took note of every single game that I considered to be lost to time, and then I scoured the internet to see if that was actually the case or not. And spoiler alert, most of the games are still playable today. So to help rectify my lies, any of the new playable PETA video games will be linked in the description below, and I'll let you know if I have anything new to say on them now that I've actually played them for myself. But first, let's check out these undocumented games. Save Chicks was made to help promote PETA's Kentucky Fried Cruelty campaign. Essentially, PETA was trying to raise awareness of how KFC was mistreating chickens on their farm. A later game made for this campaign was Super Chick Sisters, of course. KentuckyFriedCruelty.com is still up today, and it features crude artwork and links to age-restricted videos. I need to start a PETA bingo card when I make these videos. Now when it comes to the game, the first thing that we need to remember is that this is a website made for kids we're looking at. Don't worry, I found a full render of this artwork that's always on the side. I'm sure the kiddos love this. And this.
Slaughterhouse chickens are left bleeding to death after
Oh my
their
God, look at
throats
that
are
gout.
slit, and they enter a
Oh my-
scalding tank.
Scalding hot water for feather removal?
Still conscious, many of them flap about and thus miss both the immobilization bath and the automated and manual
Human
neck slicers, and are completely conscious when they are scalded to death.
As always, no subtlety.
hold on.
When playing, all you need to do is move the arrow keys left to right to catch the falling chicken before they hit the boiling water. The speed of the chicken that drops the mini chickens varies with each pass. If you miss a chicken, you lose a life, which you have 5 of in total. Sometimes the chicken will birth another chicken off the screen where you can't even catch it. At the very least, luckily you don't lose a life for that. So yeah, that's mostly it. It's insanely easy. I can play it all day without losing a life. It's a true test of endurance. I couldn't get the audio to work, but voila, another dumpster fire of a game. Along with PETA's kid-friendly gaming website, I checked out PETA's regular gaming website on the way back machine. The earliest archive I could find was December 31st, 2014. This is where I found the other two games I have never heard of. The first one we'll talk about is called Holiday Snow Fight, which came out in December of 2008. This game apparently almost got them sued by the politician Sarah Palin. Like I said earlier, I did find a link to this game, but I cannot get it to run. I can click the instructions and the play button, but this start button just does not work, leaving us stuck on this screen listening to Christmas music. I at least found some articles that give us details. There's 4 levels in this game total. In the first stage, you're in a mall, which I assume is this mall in the background of the menu. Here we have to throw snowballs at Madonna, fashion designer Donna Karan, and the Olsen twins. The second stage takes place in a graveyard where you're now trying to force the ghoulishly reanimated Colonel Sanders and actor Charlton Heston back in the grave by hitting them. I kinda at least want to see what that one looks like. If you can get these games to run, let me know. The third stage pits the user against the horse trainer Larry Jones. I don't know why this article decided to get big with the descriptions here. Now I do have a screenshot of the final level. Here, a furred coat and bikini-cladded Sarah Palin attempts to shoot Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. The player's objective again is to pelt Palin with snowballs. After winning the game, the last scene actually shows Rudolph pounding his hooves on Palin's head in a shocking display of violence. No, if you're familiar with PETA at all, this shocking display of violence is not shocking at all. But I found a screenshot of the end screen. You can see Palin's decapitated head in the bottom right. Like I said earlier, someone from Palin's legal team tried to take legal action against PETA for this game. Or so the rumors go. In reality, all that happened was an email war between the president of PETA, Ingrid Newkirk, and Palin's director of communications, William McAllister. I read through the entire email chain, and it is so funny and so petty you need to hear it. They both end up acting like high school girls. It's great. So first of all, this all started when Ingrid made a blog post saying that someone claiming to be from Palin's office called her and demanded they take the game down. She claims that he just yelled at her and threatened to sue when she asked for his name. I can't find this blog post anywhere, but it seems like Ingrid had no proof of any of this taking place. Alright, so Bill reached out to Ingrid directly through email. He basically said, WTF bro, you're saying that we're trying to sue you? She replied saying, we based this on a phone call. Why don't you ask in your office and be specific as to on what grounds you can sue us? We know that we can use the game as its pure parody. I thought people in Alaska had a sense of humor. This to me feels like Ingrid is trying to provoke them to get them to actually sue her and cause more drama and more publicity. And at this point, Bill is just straight up confused, as he should be, and is asking for details. Ingrid replied with, do they train you to be rude? She is trying to be petty as fuck here. He's just asking for questions. He is clearly confused. She ain't buying it though. So Bill replies, okay, so the bottom line is you have attitude but no facts. Sounds about right. Ingrid's alleged plan is working here. He's getting petty as fuck as well. No, you have attitude, and it's a bad one. And so did your legal emissary, who must have gone to the same charm school. Is this written by a Disney Channel team? Like, what's going on here? Our still unnamed legal emissary, huh? Whether or not I'm charming in your eyes, at least I'm accountable. You will be when you die, don't you think? Did someone put Red Bull in your water cooler? Are you now saying that no one called from your office? That's my question. Or did that person who called you overplay his hand or what? Not that I really care anymore. Flips hair. What did Red Bull in the water cooler even mean here? I am so confused. To answer your question in your subject line, yes, you are sorry. I wouldn't know if the person who allegedly called overplayed his hands. A man then, I'm still waiting for more details. No one here knows what you're talking about. Oh, you used to care? Which decade was that? These are grown people. These are grown people in positions of power arguing like teenagers here. This is so pathetic. Anyway, that's the end of that conversation. Let's just move on. Circus Slam is the third Lost PETA game that I've found. Unfortunately, I have even less info on this game. Here's all that we know. If you couldn't tell, PETA's purpose of this game is to protest circuses and raise awareness. The description reads, an elephant never forgets. Play Circus Slam to unleash an adorable but angry guardian elephant spirit who wants to rain down some heavy revenge against the big top. Squish tents and cages to save as many elephants as you can. It was sold on the App Store for 99 cents. And it was developed by This Is Pop, which is a game development studio that has worked with PETA on some of their best games. So this may be a rare PETA W for all I know. Anyway, that's all I got for Circus Slam. No petty emails here. So I also found a hermit crab quiz.
You're going to jail for throwing cats out of windows, you sick freak! That wasn't me. You did that. Sit there and stew on what you've done toward all animal kind, you fuck.
Well, it was very nice of them to at least let me keep my recording equipment. So now let's cover the games that are in fact playable that I previously stated as lost to time. You can in fact still make Fred spew. You just drag dairy into his mouth and he pukes. Fun fact I didn't know before this was playable.
On this channel, I've covered almost every single PETA game that's out there, even if it's no longer playable. And today I'm going to cover the final PETA games I've yet to talk about. All of these games have been lost to time, so I can't play any of them, but lucky enough, I found footage of all of them on YouTube, including this insane quiz where they compare a dog breeding company to the KKK. If that's not slander, then I don't know what is. Before we begin, I want to give a quick shout out to a couple people, one being Nunman. He has done an insanely good job at documenting these PETA games. Most of the gameplay footage that you will see in this video is by him. Without him, I wouldn't be able to show you any gameplay for a few of these games. Not to mention the fact that I wouldn't even have known about some of these games if it wasn't for him. The second person is Dusk Dawn. They're the one who gave me the idea to play Kitten Squad in the first place. And of course, this one video sparked this now 9-video series, which quickly became my most popular series on my channel by far. Thank you both for the help so much. Now let's check out all of the PETA games that have been lost to time. There's this game called Make Fred Spew, where you feed him dairy and he spews. It's very stupid and very of its time, and that's all I'm gonna say on it. Next is How Green Is My Diet. It's less of a game and more of a calculator that shows you how many animals you'd save if you were a vegetarian, and other similar stuff. Assuming that this information is correct, then I'd say this one's simple but kind of cool. Next is Dress Up the Trollson. You know the Olsen twins, aka Mary Kate and Ashley? Or should I say Harry, Kate, and Trashly? Nice, sick burn, PETA. I guess they were aware of fur, so they made a dress-up game where they look like zombies. The text in this game just forces this message down your throat, and you can dress them up in exaggerated dead animal fur. It's stupid, so let's move on to something else that's just as stupid. Commando Chicks. You have to sticker chicken before they go into a shopper's cart 3 times to win. I don't know who or what possessed this chicken, but this just looks dumb. The only video I could find is one video of this guy and he couldn't get past level 3. He claims he's clicked the chicken many times, but the game just doesn't respond. But since I can't play the game for myself, I have to say it could be a skill issue. Don't shoot me, I'm not saying it is, I'm just saying we don't know if it is or not. All 3 levels are the same, the only thing that changes is the person's color scheme. When you lose, it says because of you, people have salmonella poisoning and another chicken is dead. Chicken is one of the few foods that I think I actually eat every single day, and never once have I gotten salmonella poisoning from it. You get salmonella from eating raw or uncooked meats. It's not the chicken's fault that you don't know how to properly cook your meat. There's no harm in eating chicken.
But PETA won't tell you that. They're just gonna try and push their agenda.
Now it's time for breast nut animal tests. Finally, a game I can get behind. There's a bunch of tiles that periodically flip over, and you just gotta make sure you click on the breast. Probably the most impactful PETA game yet. This just goes until you lose, and then it says animals suffer in the name of breast cancer research. I'm not a fan of animal testing, and I'm also not a fan of breast cancer, so this is one of those things where it's a gray area if you morally support this. However, I am against animal testing no matter the reason. You also get some bonuses that we're not gonna look at. You guys remember that old maze flash game with a jump scare at the end? Well, what if I told you that PETA made a parody of that? In the game, you're helping Sammy the seal get safe through the maze and away from the seal clubbers. Just like in the original maze game, your goal is to make it through the maze without touching the walls. And when you do touch the walls, you're punished with a dead, gory seal carcass. You also get text that says, Canada kills seals. The original maze game is a troll, no doubt. Not everyone likes jump scares, of course, but that game did it right. Or as right as you can for a jump scare game. They show you a creepy girl that's obviously not real. While it may haunt some people for a bit, everyone knows she's fake. shown an actual bloody seal carcass. This goes without saying, but nobody should be surprised with a gory picture of a dead animal ever. Yes, PETA throws videos of animal abuse in their games, but as soon as you see the first clip, you can instantly click off. If you're comparing the first clip of the animal abuse video versus the picture of that gory dead seal, in my opinion, you're getting something much worse with this disturbing dead seal picture. As dumb as this next one is, I promise you it's actually real. KKK or AKC, a quiz by PETA. Can you tell the difference between the Ku Klux Klan and the American Kennel Club? Nope, they look the same to me. If you don't know what the AKC is, it's a place where you can register your dog to make sure it's a purebred. They have events and can help you find the perfect dog for you. I looked up controversies for the AKC, and the only ones I found are about dogs that the AKC recommends that turn out to have health problems. Which, yes, is a problem because people aren't getting what they paid for, but you know what? At least they don't kill over 50% of the animals that they bring in. For every question, you have to answer KKK, AKC, or both. Question 1. This group feels that pure bloodlines are superior. I don't think you can blame someone for wanting a specific
that's
type
cute.
of dog. Sometimes people literally just want a purebred because they like that type of dog and they want to assure the dog's health. I'm sure there are some problems that may arise in this community of purebred dog breeding, but it's not like they're actively going out there protesting against mutts or doing anything similar to the KKK. I'll post the other questions on screen, but they're all just as stupid. Even if PETA had any credibility in taking care of animals, I still wouldn't respect this game given how insane the comparisons are. Now let's get back to being corny with PETA's ABC Striptease Quiz. Hi, I'm Amber, and today we're going to be going over our ABCs. Here's your first lesson. ABC stands for Animal Birth Control, but it can also stand for Amber's bored with clothes. If you have the brain power to answer these 10 quiz questions correctly, there's nothing that gets me hotter than an intelligent person who's also compassionate. So let's see if we can get me hot enough to remove a few pesky items of clothing if you're up to the challenge, that is. I hate to burst PETA's bubble, but you can find plenty of pictures of naked women online for free. But hey, I'm sure this is someone's very specific fetish. The questions are all about animal adoptions or things related to animals.
Elio one chance. Oh, no, that ain't Elio.
There's nothing wrong.
That's Frenzy.
I'll put them all up on the screen if you want to read them. Every time you got a question right, she does take off some clothes. I won't show any pictures of her in her underwear just to make you two happy, but you never get to see her fully naked. And seeing her naked is probably the only reason anyone has ever beaten the game. When you get a question wrong, she says, I'm disappointed in you. In fact, I have half a mind to start putting my clothes back on, which I just find genuinely hilarious. But you can instantly redo the question so there's no punishment for messing up. There's 10 questions and the last one really stood out. It says, PETA has compared AKC to the KKK. What was the purpose? I just like to imagine someone freaking out at this last question because they didn't play their previous game and they really need to see this girl naked. But I really just love this question so much because it shows how insecure PETA is that no one understood the point of their previous game. Understandably so. Now put your boners away. It's time for Bloody Burberry. It's another anti-fur game, and this time the protesting clothing company Burberry. You play as a raccoon, and the first thing is you get to select
Bye,
your gift card.
Bixby.
You run around in the store spraying fur coats while avoiding security guards because that truly helps animals. This also looks very easy. On this channel, I reviewed all 33 PETA games, and I regretted
Be right
every
back,
moment.
chat. I'm gonna go
These
eat.
games vary in quality, and almost none of them are good. These games are full of pretentious dialogue where PETA forces its message down your throat, and not a lot of good gameplay. I'm going to rank every single one of these games based on how much I enjoyed them on my first playthrough, and how much I think I would enjoy it on my second playthrough. I wasn't able to play some of these games because they're no longer available, but I think I have a pretty good idea where they would stack up. I'm going to start with the best PETA games and work my way all the way down to the worst. The tiers are as follows: good, fine, it's a game. Then there's it's hardly even a game / just not enough information on the game. There's then bad, painful, and worst tier, burn it with fire. So I'm not going to rank each of these games within their own tiers. So once I get in a tier, I'll be talking about these games in no particular order. And before we begin, I want to mention that I am never going to play any of these games just for fun. And that's not just because it's PETA. Genuinely, none of these games are that fun to warrant me playing them in my free time. And just for the sake time, I'm not going to give a full breakdown on all of these games. For the most part, I'm just going to give a quick recap and show a little bit of footage, but for the most part, I'm going to assume that you've seen my other videos and have a decent knowledge on most of these games. If you haven't seen my other videos, I'll link the playlist with all of these videos down in the description, so if you want to watch those videos and come back to this one, feel free. Let's begin with the only game I put in the good tier. Meat is Murder the Game. Yeah, it's a fun enough mobile game. All you need to do is tap to make sure no animals go into the saw blade, but you have to be careful you don't miss any or tap on a bomb. Yeah, it's fast-paced and entertaining enough, but I really can't see myself playing this ever again. But this is as good as it gets for a PETA game. Now we enter the fine tier. I didn't really have a fun time playing any of these games, but all of these games do show some positive attributes. Real quick, I do want to give a disclaimer. All games from this point on would most likely be in a bad tier if I was comparing any of these games to real games. But since we're just comparing these to other PETA games, these all go in a fine tier. Let's start with Butcher Goes Vegan. This game is essentially vertical Flappy Bird. I mean, this game looks just as fine as Flappy Bird does, so with that being said, it's not 2014 and I'm not a huge fan of Flappy Bird. I'm not going to have much to say on some of these, by the way. Lobster Liberation is literally just Frogger but lobster. And again, I don't really love Frogger, and this feels like a more unfair version of it anyway. Refs, not animal tests. All it is a fast-paced matching game. As it goes on, it gets faster and faster and harder, making you maybe want to play it again for a high score. The gameplay looks simple yet somewhat satisfying, but this is one of the games that I couldn't play for myself, and I couldn't find a reason to really put it any higher or lower than this. Mario Kills Tanuki in general is just a bad endless runner. I would never play this game while any other endless runner that I've played before still exists. But in the magical world of PETA, it's a fine game. I want to end off the fine tier with what I believe to be one of the most played PETA games from my audience, Kitten Squad. It's probably been played by so many people since it's on the Switch and the PS4, and a lot of people commented on my videos saying that they liked the game and didn't even know it was made by PETA until they watched my video, which I just found hilarious. Okay, so here's the thing with Kitten Squad. The first run you have with Kitten Squad is genuinely fine. It's still not super fun, and it does look terrible, but it's honestly okay. The problem comes when you start a second run and realize it's the exact same as before. This game just lacks variety, and the base game itself isn't really that fun to begin with. As long as I don't have to play this game for very long, I'll say it's fine. But if you force me to play through every single mission in the game, I would have to drop this game far, far down the list. Let's move on to the It's a Game tier. This tier is where I really don't have any strong feelings towards the games. It just kind of leaves a neutral taste in your mouth. Monkey Frights. Yeah, this game is bad and looks terrible, but the pros are the fact that it's really short. I played this game a couple times for a video, and never did I have a terrible time, but never did I enjoy my time at all. If we were ranking on the visuals alone, it would be the worst. Plus, the controls are very floaty, but at the end of the day, it's not hard and very short, which I think is what really gives this game a pass. Seal's Hero is one of the games we have very little info on. All we have is this recording of the first 3 levels on an old iPod. From the looks of it, it looks like it might be kind of mundane, but I can genuinely see some potential for there to be some interesting strategy in the game. But I can't imagine this game is very tame. Seal Slalom is a game where you try to go down a hill as fast as possible. All you have to do is avoid the obstacles, and this is definitely a game. Turkey Lurkey, master of disguise. So to my knowledge, no gameplay of this game exists online. But from looking at the picture, it looks like this is a slide puzzle, and last time I checked, slide puzzles are definitely games. Elephants Never Forget is a memory game, and last time I checked, memory games are also games. Now it's time for a hardly even a game slash not a lot of information on the game. Let's first take a look at Vegan Calculator. Vegan Calculator shows you how many animals you'd save if you went vegan. Assuming that all the information is accurate, I think this is actually kind of cool, but definitely dated and not really a game. The Minecraft server falls in between not a game and not enough information. By the looks of it, all you do is look around and admire the craftsmanship, I guess. Or maybe you'll get inspired to go vegan, as that was their main goal of the server. This server does look like they put a lot of work into it, but since the servers are no longer up and there's not a lot of videos on it online, I can't really properly place this on the list anywhere. The last game in this tier is Paintball Hero. It's a mobile game that was made by a 17-year-old student. The only gameplay that I could find is this preview uploaded from the student himself. So again, there's just no way for me to properly rank this. Now it's time for the bad tier. Basically, I didn't really have any fun playing these games, but it wasn't so painful to sit through. Cookie Mama, Mama Kills Animals. It's a cheap parody of Cookie Mama, and it plays exactly like you would expect. I played the real Cookie Mama on stream for the first time recently, and it wasn't as good of a game as I was hoping for. And I hate to say it, but it made me realize as far as the actual gameplay goes in the beta version, it's really not too much worse. I did switch infamous for having its own problems. That's all I have to go off, and I really did think I would be ranking this game a lot lower than I
Fuck.
did, but
Chat's dead.
Fast Food
Yikes.
Nation, the game, is a parody of Burger Time, and obviously it's not a good parody either. But really, at the end of the day, all it is a less polished, unfair version of Burger Time. I love Burger Time and hated playing Fast Food Nation, but let's be real, it could have been way worse. Chicken Commando is one of the games that I was not able to play, but all you need to do is click on the chicken before it gets into the cart.
What are we doing? So yeah, that's pretty much the bulk of the plagiarism controversy. Just a whole mess. But don't think we're previously on, yeah. Enchanted Portals is supposed to get some kind of free DLC
He has
later
food.
this year. Wow.
He
Can
got
you believe
food.
it? You might
It
get
was a hot dog.
2 Cuphead videos in 1 year. Neither of which are actually about Cuphead. And now for the thrilling conclusion, 1 video later. Hey everyone. So, I think I may have accidentally spawned the Enchanted Portals update into existence last video. Because only a few weeks after it came out, with pretty much no warning, the free DLC actually dropped. Which, I'm not gonna lie, I kinda just assumed was never gonna happen. So, what do I think of it? Listen, I think the existence of the update is better than nothing. But it also does nothing to address most of the issues with the game. The main meat of the update is 2 new boss fights that are sort of just awkwardly put into their own section on the main menu. One of these is really bland and has very shallow gameplay, and the other is pretty creative all things considered, but a little too easy. There's a few other things here, like tweaks to the running gun level so that they're a little bit shorter, but still, is this the update that Enchanted Portals really needed? It just feels like the effort was put into the wrong places here. So yeah, I really was going to make a full video on this update originally, but I think it'd just be beating a dead horse at this point. Well, I guess that's it then. No second Cuphead ripoff video for this year. You can all go home now, just don't look at the remaining runtime on the way out. Alright, so clearly this video isn't actually about Enchanted Portals. So what are we doing here? Well, when all hope seemed lost for the second Cuphead video, an angel came down from the heavens and gave us this, and I do not say this lightly, generational tweaks. My game is good, the algorithm just ignores me.
Probably a lot, lovelies. Probably a lot. Low key.
Chills, bro. Chills. Okay, but in all seriousness, this tweet went pretty damn viral a few weeks back, and it's probably the most attention a Cuphead ripoff has seen since, well, probably Enchanted Portals. And that was all the way back in 2023. While this tweet is very funny on its own, there's actually a lot more going on here than you may think at first glance. In fact, there's an entire rabbit hole linked to this game and its developer. And, hey, you, I know what you were thinking just now. Do not go and harass the developer because of my video. I do not support that shit. And even if they've done some scummy stuff that does absolutely deserve to be called out, that doesn't mean you should then make it your mission to harass them. Got it? Okay, as I was saying, there's some crazy shit we're gonna talk about today. So, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between, strap in. This is a video about plagiarism, allegations, some of the worst video games ever uploaded to Steam, fucking pinball for some reason, and the biggest controversy the Cuphead ripoff space has seen in years. This is Toon Souls. Also, don't forget to subscribe, because I know you aren't Daniel, or Kyle, or whatever your name is. Okay, so you're probably wondering, what the hell even is Toon Souls anyway? Let's take it back to early 2024. Specifically around the time I released my video about Rubber House Rampage. Prior to this, I had only made one other Cuphead-related video, so with the release of this new one, it created a standard that I might continue to cover more rip-offs in the future. This little factoid caught the attention of a certain up-and-coming developer in the Cuphead rip-off scene. That being the Toon Souls guy. I have no idea what else to call him, so we're gonna go with that. The Toon Souls guy, seeing my coverage of Rubber House Rampage, decided to @ me on Twitter like 4 or 5 different times with the same exact trailer for his game, Toon Souls. Zero exaggeration here, by the way. If you go to his account and search tweets of his that include my Twitter @ the entire list of tweets is just this trailer and a bunch of hearts replying to random tweets that were replying to me. Eventually, I took notice of this and decided to play along a little bit. So I quote retweeted one of his trailer posts and left it at that. I guess I should actually talk about this trailer for a little bit, since it is kind of what started this whole thing. I don't have much to say about it. I mean, it's literally just footage of a Cuphead clone that focuses on the worst parts of Cuphead, the run and gun stages, so basically just Enchanted Portals, but probably worse. Cool. Shout out to the part of the trailer where there's a big-ass dragon along with a bunch of copy-paste, smaller versions of the same fucking dragon.
That's a little version of me, Alan.
Anyway, after I acknowledged Toon Souls, I pretty much completely forgot about it up until the recent viral tweet brought it to the mainstream. However, something kind of interesting happened in between my tweet and the viral tweet, and this is where the controversy starts to unfold. Some of you watching at home may find the entire idea of Toon Souls to be a little familiar, and I'm not just talking about how it's, like, kind of a Dark Souls parody, and I mean, we're using that very lightly here. I don't think Dark Souls has a green dragon with cartoonish lips and small evil clones. No. You may think this whole thing feels familiar because the idea isn't exactly original. On November 24th, 2017, only a few months after the release of Cuphead, the YouTube channel 64bits uploaded an animation parody simply titled Cup Souls, which is actually a parody of Dark Souls in the style of Cuphead. And it's really charming. The animation is done in a way that makes it look like real gameplay, but it's actually just a very impressive mock-up. The description even says, before you ask, no, this is not actual gameplay. It never will be a game, but one can dream, right? So, at this point, you can probably see where I'm going with this, but hold on now, let's not throw around any crazy accusations here. It's not like Toon Souls literally plagiarized a scene from the Cup Souls animation, beat for beat, bar for bar, right? Right? And you know what, to be fair, pretty much everything else in Toon Souls that we have seen is not taken from the Cup Souls video. But this one single section being the exact same is enough evidence to prove what's really going on here. The Toon Souls guy wanted to make a Cuphead ripoff, so
saw this banger concept animation with 7 million views and just decided to steal it instead of coming up with an original idea. It's really that simple. Now, you'd think that's where this story ends in regards to 64 bits and their animation, but in between my tweet and the viral one, they actually found out about this project and made a couple tweets about it. On May 9th, 2024, the Toon Souls guy posted a clip of the stolen skeleton ball segment that I just showed you, which is something he does very often actually. I think like 90% of his account is just posting the same clips over and over. Anyway, someone who saw this tweet immediately recognized it as being based on the Cup Souls animation, and replied to the clip with a very lighthearted tweet asking 64-bits to work on the animation for the game. Which, like, yeah, it would be cool if the people who actually made the original animation got any sort of chance to work on this. That would just be a win for everybody, right? The Toon Souls guy then responded to this tweet, basically just shilling his game. But a little bit later, 64-bits themselves responded to this tweet. What did they say, you may be wondering? Oh, nothing. Just that the dev fucking already blocked them. Okay, let me get this straight. Not only did this guy take the entire concept for this game from 64-bits, down to an individual section being identical, but they also went out of their way to block 64-bits when they rightfully called them out on it. You seriously can't make this shit up. I don't even know what to say anymore. And the cherry on top of all of this is that the other guy in this thread that brought this to 64-bits attention also got blocked in the middle of everything. Because of fucking course he did. Like, what are we doing? So yeah, that's pretty much the bulk of the plagiarism controversy. Just a whole mess. But don't think we're done just yet. We still have to talk about the tweet. On Halloween of this year, the legendary "My game is good,
Nothing
the
much.
algorithm just ignores me" tweet was posted, and proceeded to rack up almost 50 million views. It's probably over 50 million views right now. I haven't checked in like 2 days. It's probably a fucking lot, though. I think there's a few factors as to why this specific tweet blew up.
Hi,
the way it
Leon.
did.
Welcome
Obviously,
back.
the caption in contrast with the gameplay clip is very funny. With the overall quality of Toon Souls looking a little rough, mixed with the Cuphead influence that 99%
I don't
of
fucking
people are
know
going to see
Galaxy.
and
Any dress is good.
it really was the perfect storm. My favorite part of this clip is when the player takes completely unavoidable damage. You know, the sign of a truly high quality product. What really elevated this whole thing to a whole other level, though, were the Toon Souls guy's responses to the replies on his tweet. Regardless if it's some random guy shitting on the game, or someone giving honest words of encouragement, he almost always replies with the same set of hearts. Just like he did all the way back to the people on my replies last year. Some things truly never change, huh? Because of this tweet blowing up as much as it did, it actually spawned some of its own new controversies that have origins predating the viral post. So we might as well go over those as well. First up, we have the AI allegations. This was definitely the bigger of the two, since in almost every reply section of someone trying to defend Toon Souls, there will almost always be someone bringing up the fact that the dev used AI. For starters, a lot of people seem to think that the tweets the Toon Soul guy is posting are AI generated, since they're all very repetitive in nature, but I really don't think that's the case. I genuinely think this guy has nothing better to do all day than respond to people on Twitter, and he's responding to the same types of posts over and over, so everything ends up looking a little samey. I think it's really just that simple. However, these allegations get a little more real when we take a swing over to the Toon Souls YouTube community tab. Here, there are multiple posts clearly showing that the Toon Souls guy has 100% been using AI, and that's just the stuff that's easy to find. There are also examples of him using an AI background from over a year ago in this video, showing off some kind of home area in the game. And then in another video, this room shows up again, completely regenerated for some reason, except this time it has random skulls he actually drew just thrown around the area. And for some reason, if you still need more proof, the fairly reliable AI image detector, Was It AI, seems to agree very strongly that a lot of this stuff is AI. Not that these sites are totally accurate or anything, but in my experience, they definitely hit more than they miss. Like something he obviously drew passed with flying colors. Oh, and there's also shit like this on his Twitter just sitting out in the open, specifically about Toon Souls. So yeah, this kinda sucks. As AI improves and the line between human-made content and AI-made content starts to blur more and more, it's super important to support real artists, including those working in the games industry, where I'm sure AI bullshit is being pushed even harder. So to see an indie dev stoop this low is just embarrassing. So, pretty easily, we can confirm that the Toon Souls AI allegations are absolutely, without a doubt, 100% correct. Now we have to talk about a more sensitive topic, the sympathy baiting allegations. This all stems from a lot of what the Toon Soul guy posts on his Twitter, which, to boil it down, is basically him saying repeatedly that his mother passed away, he's very poor, and that her final wish was for him to finish Toon Souls. Not only is this still happening now, this was also happening around a month after he initially tweeted at me. I actually almost made a video about this specific situation on my second channel back when I was more active there, because a lot of people at the time just assumed he was lying for sympathy. I ended up not doing it because, like, how would you even talk about this? There's no real proof this guy's mom is dead or not, so you rightfully look like a complete asshole trying to say otherwise. So, in good faith to the Toon Souls guy, I am going to talk about this situation as if his mom did pass away. With that said, he will quite literally not stop posting about this to gain sympathy from people giving him criticism. If you go on his account and look up Mother, there are so many tweets, it's kind of ridiculous. And on top of that, he's actively using her death as a way to promote the game as well, with countless tweets like, "The game's story will be about life and death. My mother passed away, and it will be a reflection on life and death. Wishlist on Steam to get notified at release." Losing someone that close to you is probably the worst thing in the world. I don't know what I'll do when my own mom passes away. However, I can guarantee you that I won't be bringing it up every single chance I get to farm constant sympathy and to put any potential people giving me criticism in an awkward spot. Like, come on, man. Hopefully I cover that alright. Like I said, it's a hard topic to bring up, but it's also pretty much impossible to ignore given how relevant it is to this whole thing. Anyway, we're pretty much done talking about the Toon Souls Twitter controversy, but going through all this stuff got me curious. What other games has the Toon Souls guy made? I mean, he constantly shows these other two games on his Twitter that use the exact same assets as Toon Souls, including the fuck-ass lipstick dragon. So I might as well check those out, right? I mean, they're both only like a few dollars each. What's the worst that could happen? First up, we have Pinball 2. So let's boot it up and see what it's all about. Are we fucking dead at? Oh, okay. Okay, this is what we're dealing with. Got it. Alright, cool. After turning that down significantly, I got into the actual game and, yep, this sure is pinball. I mean, this isn't actually that bad or anything from a basic control standpoint, and the physics feel mostly fine, so that's good. But it's a little too punishing for being the first level of this. You have to use the ball to take out the Toon Souls enemies scattered around the board, but you can only mess up 3 times, and the amount of enemies you have to kill is not only super high, but it also changes each time you start a new run for some reason. I don't really know, but hey, this could definitely be worse. One really weird thing about this game, however, is that it lets you choose between these 2 different bug characters before you start the game, but as far as I can tell, it literally affects nothing. The only place I found that actually shows your character is the death screen, but it only ever shows the male one, even if you're playing as the female character. Strange. Very strange. But yeah, that's pretty much all this is. I'm sure if I was more of a pinball buff, this would be more offensive, but I'm not, so, you know, maybe I should be. Pinball machines are pretty fucking cool, I can't lie. No time to get into that, though. We have to move on to the next game, Toon. Oh wow, yeah, we're really doing this again, huh? Not only are we doing this again, aka the menus and the UI are the exact same as Pinball Toon, down to the useless character select screen that affects nothing, still being here, but this time it's like significantly worse somehow? This is one of those evil games that hides your mouth and locks it in the window. So I genuinely had no idea what I was doing and couldn't even progress into the actual game until I hooked up a controller and forced my way in like that. Why does it lock the fucking mouth? Alright, let's try controller. It's literally an FPS game though. This is especially embarrassing considering this game is a Doom clone, and you'd probably want to play that with a mouse and keyboard for obvious reasons. But fine, controller it is. The actual gameplay objective here is actually structured pretty much the exact same way as Pinball 2. There's a random amount of enemies to kill, and you have a limited amount of health and bullets to deal with. Movement-wise, it feels fine, but everything starts to fall apart when you realize this is an FPS game without a fucking crosshair. So not only are you dying in one hit from everything, it's also a pain in the ass to even land a simple shot on any of these guys. Also, I just want to add, because I wasn't actually sure of this while I was writing the script, because I'm not much of an FPS person, but Doom also doesn't have a crosshair, but that game keeps the gun centered, so you always know your shots are going to be going down the center at all times, while in Toon, your gun is like off to the side and on a weird angle on the drawing, so you have no fucking idea where your shots are going. You can like guess, but it's not consistent enough for a full game to like not have a crosshair. Like, this needs a crosshair. The original Doom probably doesn't. Eventually, I got lucky and found a really powerful machine gun that let me beat the first level, but upon reaching the upgrade screen to continue forward, the broken-ass UI wouldn't let me select anything with the keyboard, controller, or mouse. Why can I shoot bullets in this script? Why am I... So I was pretty much forced to give up there. Another okay game that I probably could have gotten further in, but I guess it just wasn't meant to be. Also, before we move on here, I would like to bring your attention to the hilarious JPEG skybox this game has. Why is the background of fucking Pia? Why is the background? What is happening? Alright, so...
Joke's on you, lovelies.
Okay. Nothing special.
Elagos
Kinda
is not
broken.
scared,
No, okay.
and does not give a
Very
shit if
broken
2 stars are after his ass.
overall,
And
was super
Toodles.
cheap and
Dude
high
has
quality.
died
I
multiple
still
times. He
have
does
more
not
questions
care.
than answers here, though. Like, who the fuck were those useless bug characters? Also, neither of those games really gave me a good idea of if the Toon Souls guy would even be able to make a good Cuphead clone. So, can he even do that? Well, I decided to dig a little bit deeper to try and see if the Toon Souls guy had ever made any games similar to Cuphead. And while the only games he's ever made under the Toon Crafter alias on Steam are the ones I just talked about, I decided to check out the games made by his publisher, simply known as Indie Games Publisher. That's not suspicious. No, not at all.
You're fine,
Anyway,
Beyond.
let's take a look here and Oh my. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Alright, so this is an entirely different can of worms from everything else we've talked about thus far. If it wasn't obvious, Indie Games Publisher is just the Toon Souls guy. And for some reason, he's split his games among a bunch of different aliases on Steam. But they're all still under the same publisher, so I'm not really sure what the point of that was. Immediately, you will also notice that the rest of these games outside the two I already talked about are not cheap at all. In fact, these games actually cost more than Cuphead. I am dead fucking ass. For the sake of my wallet, I'm only going to be buying and trying out 4 of these games. Those being the 4 different animatics games, because they clearly feature those weird bug characters. So maybe I'll finally get some goddamn answers. As for the 5 different Biscuits games the Toon Souls guy has made, that's okay, you can keep them. The 5th game in that set is also $10 more expensive than all the other games, so yeah, I'm good, boss. Alright, let's just get this over with. Starting with the first game, Animatics. Okay, there we go. Some actual music this time. Maybe this won't be so bad. Heading over to the main menu and, wait. This is the same goddamn main menu from the last 2 games. Down to the character select screen. Except this time, it actually fucking works! So, let me get this straight. The Toon Souls guy made this menu for Animatics and decided to just copy-paste it over for his Toon games without removing the character select, even though it does nothing in said games. Bravo. Absolute cinema, no notes. Take me home, I'm done here. Alright, whatever. Let's get into the actual gameplay. Okay, so we've lost music privileges now. Got it. Well, as you can see, Animatics is an actual Cuphead clone. Finally, we're on topic again. The controls are not very good, like, at all. And the default bullets are like these weird, sad bullets that just flop down when you fire them. But I mean, maybe the bosses can still be good? This first one is a centaur dude that literally just stands there and does nothing while a bunch of wheels try and kill you. The way the wheels roll out is completely random, and sometimes you end up in situations that you are quite literally forced to die in. I was genuinely kind of baffled by this, so I decided to exit out of the boss to check the controls and see if there was a dash or double jump or something I was missing. But nope, the game is really just set up like this. Alright, well, I can probably just get lucky with the wheels and beat this guy. I mean, he's the first boss. It can't be that hard. Let's just hop back in and... Why is the level different? What the fuck? What the fuck is
Oh,
this?
bye, lovelies.
Okay, so now the game is a vertical auto-scroller where you need to kill a bunch of bugs while climbing up floating leaves. Hey, that's great, man. Just one question. Where the hell did the boss fight go? I'm being so serious when I say I could not get that centaur boss to appear again. Every time I reset the game and tried again, it would only give me this shitty climbing level and a variant of it with wood instead of leaves. I couldn't even get past this part either, because for some reason, turning left and right in this game is like playing a round of slots, where you have to hit the 777 jackpot in order for the game to actually be like, oh shit, you want to turn around and not just moonwalk. So yeah, that's animatics. There's definitely more content here, but I guess the game just doesn't want me to see it. And you know what? That's fine by me. More expensive than Cuphead, by the way, just wanted to remind you. Well, that sucked. At least we still have 3 more of these games to check out though. Maybe the Toon Souls guy got better at making Cuphead-style games the further into this series he got. Only one way to find out. Let's dive into Animatics 2. What do you even want me to say? No, seriously, like, what are we even doing here? Alright, so Animatics 2 is not another Cuphead clone, and is instead a genuinely terrible beat-em-up game for some reason. I don't really get the point of numbered sequels if the gameplay is going to be completely different, but whatever, man, you do you, I guess. This game has full online multiplayer for some reason, which is very funny considering absolutely nobody is playing this shit. I didn't even try the multiplayer for this video. Do you really think I could convince anyone to buy this? Be real. Thankfully, I guess, you can enter the game even without a full party. So I was still able to try it out, and yep, this is sure a bad beat-em-up. TMNT Shredder's Revenge has nothing on this absolute masterclass of game design, featuring 2 whole attacks for the playable character. More expensive than Cuphead, by the way. I couldn't even be bothered to play more than like 5 minutes of this. I'm gonna be real. I don't really know what I was expecting here, but it was definitely not this. But don't worry, guys. This game specifically is in early access, apparently. So that makes everything acceptable. Anyway, we still have 2 more of these games to look at, so maybe the 3rd one can save us. What the fuck? Never mind. I don't even want to talk about this one. We are so far removed from the animatic series being about Cuphead at this point that I don't even think I can predict what the hell this last game is going to be. Let's just get this over with. Okay, so now we've lost the plot completely. We've gone from a Cuphead clone to a beat-em-up to whatever the fuck the 3rd game was, to now a straight-up rip-off of Getting Over It. Considering Getting Over It is even cheaper than Cuphead, that means the price difference between these games is even more insane, which, you know, that's just great. I had actually never played Getting Over It before making this video, but I wanted to be as fair as possible to Animatics 4, for some reason. So I went out and bought Getting Over It, so I could accurately compare the 2 games. In Getting Over It, I was pretty easily able to climb over the first obstacle with only a little bit of effort, even with the purposely weird controls. In Animatics 4, I struggled to do anything, got stuck in a corner, had to reset the game to get out of the corner, tried again, and still couldn't get past the first obstacle. So, what a surprise, it's just a significantly worse version of Getting Over It. Who could have seen that coming? Well, that was the last game I bought, so we're done here. Thank God. I really spent like 90 Canadian dollars on all these terrible games, huh? Well, it could have been worse. I could have also bought Biscuits 5, but I didn't, so... Alright, that's it for me today. Hopefully this video is good and the algorithm doesn't ignore me, but I don't know. I might have to say it 4 times just to be sure. Tune in next time when I permanently delete Animatics 3 from my Steam account. I've been Yeah, and I'll see you all next time.
Top of the morning to you, ladies. My name is Jacksepticeye, and welcome back to the anxiety challenge. I failed this miserably last time because as soon as you show me anything got to do with heights,
No,
and people falling off,
Bingus.
and people climbing really high objects, I'm done. I'm out. I'm done. Rules still apply, same as last time. If you get anxiety during any part of this video, then you fail. Most of us probably have anxiety all the time anyway over various different things, so this probably won't change anything. So this is just going to be me feeling very uncomfortable for about 15 minutes. 1,500 feet with your brother? You guys just high? Oh! Oh no! That part was fine! Because I can't, my brain doesn't understand that, but as soon as you look down... Don't do it again. Don't... Oh god, he did it again! Stop! Ooh, really? Straight away, something got to do with heights. I hate it. Stop it. High objects should be just decimated from humanity. At least you're wearing safety equipment. At least you seem like you're actually just working, that you're repairing a tower, you're building the tower. That tower is just something that you guys do. I don't know, maybe it's for shits and giggles. But the important part is, you guys didn't seem like you were going to fall off at any moment, and that lessens the anxiety. So big fat failure on that one. No, I just reacted strong. That doesn't mean that I actually got anxiety. Okay, this one's slow. Speed up, please. No, Jesus! Oh my God, that was way higher than I thought it was. Oh, how does anybody do that? How, as a human, do you look at this? You stand at the top of that board and go, not only am I going to jump off this, I'm going to twirl and discombobulate myself as I do it. That's horrible. Oh, nailed the landing though, so good for you. Glad you're doing it, not me. Let's speed it way up. There you go. See, it's not that high. They hit the water really quick. Guy dodges a boulder flying downhill. Is he flying or is the boulder flying? Holy shit! Oh my god, I thought the boulder flying past this guy was him missing it. That got so close. Can you see that up close? That guy is lucky to be alive.
Look up, puddles. Don't touch that. Too late.
God. Oh, go home and do the lotto or something. Oh God, you feel that? The clammy clam, the sweaty palms are coming. I now have a new fear. Just walking by any steep incline and worrying that a boulder is going to frisbee itself towards my face. Okay, that's it. I'm sitting down for the rest of the That made my legs go all tingly. Alright, so far I have failed miserably. Any of the rest of you? Were any of the rest of you holding your breath during that moment? Oh, okay. It's fine. Just relax, compose yourself, okay? Breathe in.
Aww.
And breathe out.
Bye beyond.
Oh, that's good. That's good stuff.
Okay.
Why do people go up this high? Why are you not wearing safety equipment? Oh wait, yeah. Sorry. Hard hat on for safety. Thank God you have the hard hat. Wouldn't want anything to happen if you fell. Why? I feel like this video should go on for so much longer. Either there's no safety standards where they're working, or he just doesn't care. Sorry, the hard hat's there. I forgot about that part. I don't care what job you're doing. None of it is worth any amount of money to do that without safety equipment. These could roll at any second. This is just a whole video of me being a concerned parent for all of these people that I don't know. Stop it!
Well, here's the thing. Elagos has... you can talk shit about Elagos all you want. There's one thing you can't talk shit about. It's his fashion sense. Because he actually does have a good fashion sense. He got bendy for that.
And I had to get that tooth pulled because the Invisalign wouldn't sit on it properly, or it would just take too long to move all the bones around in my head. I don't really want that. But I was sitting there just clenching my hands, and he pulled out the tooth, and he's like, okay, all done. I'm like, what? I didn't feel anything. It was great. Oh, bikers on cliff sides. Is that the sky or the ocean? Oh, God. At least you're not barreling it down this cliffside. That would have made things worse. Okay, he's picking up speed now. Uncomfortable, but not unbearable. and that's important. That one wasn't so bad. The last two were much, much worse. I didn't realize that my fear of heights is also magnified or equaled to my fear of being trapped underwater. You know, two very human emotions. I don't think I'm the crazy one. I think the people who go up onto these things without any safety equipment on, except their hard hat, those are the crazy ones. Oh, this one I saw already. This one I saw already, and I audibly, out loud, that's what that means, I literally said, fuck off, as soon as I saw it. This is the worst.
More, come on.
Oh, God, that's how people die. That's how people die. That's how you get news articles written about you. For dying like an idiot. That's how people die. That's like a foot away from being a headline of a tragedy of a tourist dying on holiday. It's not worth it. How many people looked at well, 26,000 people upvoted this, so are you happy? Is that what you wanted? I'm sorry. I get very aggressive when it comes to this shit. I don't want people putting themselves in harm's way for internet points. It's not worth it. Then again, here I am reacting to it. But I'm coming with a message. Stop it. This is far enough. Back here was far enough. Just being on top of the rock was far enough.
More, come on.
I don't buckle to peer pressure. I'm very upset. Oh, and then they take their hands off as if they had learned how to fly right before doing this. Stop it. Get off the rocks and get onto the ground, which is just one big rock. When I get upset, I get more Irish. Ah, feckin' hall. Go back to mass, will you? Who's with me? Who has lost already? Who is as upset as I am? Am I overreacting? Maybe. Just a small bit. They're just videos on the internet. But I'm very concerned for these people's health and well-being. Really, though, it's more of me projecting myself into the situation and then really hating myself for being in that situation. You know? It's like, scary high things are already scary enough when you're in a controlled environment. Going to, like, Tokyo Skytree and looking down in the glass, even though it's like 19 inches thick and the whole tower is standing and no one has ever gone through the floor and died, I'm still terrified of it. Oh boy. Jesus. Top comment. Even the shark was like, oh, I didn't see you there. Yeah, it's too cloudy down here. Who knew that clouds could come underwater? He's like, oh, excuse me, sir, coming through. He's like, oh shit, was that a snack? Damn it. Well, I'm already swimming around. Alright, that one wasn't so bad. I've done that in Subnautica, and way worse. Okay, people doing it in real life thinking that they're cool. Again, these people. Oh god, I didn't even see the thing wobble. Oh my god, why would you do that? I really hope that some of these are like a trick of the mind. Like it's a perception thing, or there's some sort of like cabling holding this together and that's some sort of attraction for that area. There's like 10,000 people.
I can't.
That's 1,000. All waiting in line next to him, next to a barrier, and this is just like cropped to make it look worse. Because the only other option is that he's up on top of a cliff, wiggling a rock that is centimeters away from falling off the edge of the cliff and killing him.
Hey, yo, Elegant.
I always think these videos are a good idea until I get into them, and then
I love how some of you guys are like, his mind, oh my god, she's so fucking pretty and stuff like that. Meanwhile how I write Elagos, god, I want to fucking rip her dress off and just fuck her raw right now. That's literally him. Hey, yo, Elagos. yourself. Fantastic. Mazel tov.
my heart rate is literally elevated right now. Okay, well, it took a long time for my watch to actually calculate it, so it had gone down.
There you go.
Stupid fucking watch. Hey, my heart rate's at 69! Hell yeah! How's this for sweaty pants? I don't know. Oh, Jesus!
I ain't kidding, by the way. He probably... I'm not kidding, by the way. He probably once or twice... He probably once or twice, said that. Like, thought about it.
Waiting to fall off down. I didn't know that there was an alligator crocodile there. Jesus! So that's why it was sweaty pants. I had a completely different reasoning for it.
Huh? What?
You are very lucky that you do not have nutsack in mouth of alligator right now. They love that shit. It goes down like a fine foie gras. Oh, whoa.
Shit.
What? That's scary, man. I mean, dude's hanging 10 and ripping 20. That's fucking dope. But I'd be very scared that I fall in. Well, the dude with the paddleboard behind him doesn't seem too bad. Maybe it's not as bad as it looks. It looks really bad, though. Well, I want to know what's underneath it. This is all sand here, so maybe they just dug out sand to make the water flow like that to create this? Because maybe it's all sand underneath. I don't know, man. As long as you can hold your breath and don't mind a few broken bones and a bit of pride loss, should be fine. It's not that scary. Come on, he says at the comfort of his home in his chair as he's holding his own legs, cradling himself because he's fucking terrified of the world. Whoa! What? How did he do that? My god, I probably wouldn't even be able to get my legs out of this position in the chair without hurting myself.
There we
and this
go.
guy is out here defying gravity.
Now, if he said that out loud, he's cooked.
No, how you doing?
I ain't chatting rosebuds.
I mean, I know, but...
Well, here's Bingus. He probably did said it out loud at some point. He's like, well, like this guy has no shame. He like I said, he's Cuphead's son. He got Cuphead's bluntness, to say the least. He's like, hold on. He's like, can I be honest with you for a little bit? He's like, can I be honest with you for a little bit? And he's like, sure. He's like, sure, what is it? I want to rip your fucking clothes off right now. It's like, I want to rip your clothes up in real. It's like, I want to rip your clothes off and just pin you against the wall and just fuck you there. And she's like, what? Dude probably got slapped. He didn't care. He's like, worth it. Alright. I think that's enough for today. Alright, I think that's enough for today. Hopefully I'm gonna... Exactly. Dude has no shame. Hopefully I'll be streaming more, I'll be streaming longer tomorrow. I am low-key getting tired, but, at least we get to draw. At least I get to draw a lot of stuff for today. God. Okay, Alright. Hope you guys have, like, a good day or night. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.